everyone! Welcome! There's a lot of people here. So, hello 90 Lancaster, hello Deep Predator, hello Rookie Critic, hello Bleentron, hello, let's see, Angry Mr. Flibble looks like he's in chat. Hello, everybody. Yeah, I refuse. Is that what your name? Cell watching. Hello, everybody. Hello, Mary Ashmead. Hopefully, I'm catching you guys. You guys have been waiting here since I announced it. So hopefully, you guys have a good or you like having a good 30-minute heads up. Hello, Hunky Chunky Frankie. Funky.
Did it again.
So we've got the awesome Tom Connors.
Hey, that's
again.
your fault.
Yeah.
This is your announcement.
I know. So you got notified at least.
I did. I finally
Nice.
got it. Cool.
Yeah, so we got awesome Tom Connors from Midnight's Edge After Dark and Midnight's Edge. Again, if you want to plug yourself.
Hello, I'm Tom from Midnight's Edge and Midnight's Edge After Dark.
I just
Plugged.
said that. I just said that.
But if I plug myself that I don't say anything, then your audience is going to wonder where I went again.
Yeah, well, it's because I didn't see the thing.
Okay, I'm being a smartass.
It's because I didn't see the thing, because, if I see it on everything I have is on my main monitor, and then I have the capture of the call over there on the other monitor, so.
Yeah. Hello, Deep Predator. Hello, Mary Ashmead, 90 Lancaster, Rookie Critic. Whoever else is here. Who else is here?
Hello, Lord Blue Eyes, Frankie G. Another
Chunky
awesome
Chunky
YouTuber.
Monkey's here. Seraph is here. Bleentron. Oh, wow.
The porgs on the shelf.
Angry Mr. Fibble. All right. I think I got everybody, didn't I?
Swoon, Tom noticed me. See, you have a fan. 90 Lancaster loves you.
Woohoo!
Hello, Eric Draven. Hello, Liam Hodges.
As long as you're not a
UK.
creepy kind of stalker or a hot stalker, that's all that matters.
You don't want hot stalkers?
I said as long as you're not a creepy stalker or a hot, or if you are a hot stalker. I can't fucking talk today.
Yeah.
Why did you have me on?
Because you were like, hey, what are we doing a stream today? I'm like, okay. I was thinking going at 7, but I have this video I've been working on that I've been kind of trying to script out, and I don't know if you guys saw Doomcock's latest video, but a lot of what he says in his latest video is kind of a lot of the stuff that I've been sort of building and working into the script for a while. Not everything entirely, but there's a lot of it. And then even on Twitter today, we had a Drekkie. We had somebody who clearly doesn't get it, and I think that was the last little piece of the puzzle. Yeah, I think you did.
I was probably working.
Yeah. So we had that, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is important to kind of address. The last little piece of the puzzle is, we're not just a bunch of negative, angry fans. We do this stuff. We complain from a place of love, because love and anger are all kind of the same. They're the yin and the yang exist for a reason,
right? And
you kind of have to. You can't have one without the other.
Right. I think what you're trying to say is when the haters say, "Oh, the haters," the Drekkies are saying stuff like, "Oh, you're just a hater." It's like, obviously I don't hate Star Trek, or I wouldn't care this much.
Yeah, exactly.
To bitch about it.
Exactly.
And I go bitch about Harry Potter or something.
Yeah. And they don't get that we turn to entertainment as the one place that we can put aside all of our differences, and we can distract ourselves from the shit that we have to deal with in everyday life. I mean, there are people out there who go through hell in their daily lives. They have shitty jobs, they have health issues, they have all of these things, and when they can't even turn to Star Trek to get uplifted, and when they can't even turn to Star Wars to distract themselves for an hour and a half, that's where a lot of the problem comes from. And we got into it with a guy who I guess he works in in some sort of mental health, some sort of whatever. And he kind of just reminds me of a classic example of somebody with a lot of education who doesn't quite understand the big picture, and doesn't understand the necessity, and doesn't understand why we kind of have both sides of the yin and the yang, and why we have this sort of collective, and why we have this anger, outrage sort of thing, and why people like Doomcock or myself will get very overly dramatic and angry about something. It's because we kind of have to shock ourselves out of this to wake ourselves up. We have to we have to break our collective programming, so we're not just reciting the same little buzzwords over and over again, like you're toxic, you know, you guys are just toxic fans, you're just racist, you're just sexist. Like, you know, sometimes you have to have somebody slap you in the face to kind of wake you up and snap you out of it. And I think that some of the people don't quite get that. Some of the people just say, oh, you're just a hater, you're just angry, you're just negative. Because they don't actually see that it comes from a place of compassion and you know, caring. So, yeah, stop being an old white racist male, Ricky Critic says. Those words are substitutes for thinking. Exactly.
Right. Well, and it's funny because everybody always says, I hate everything. It's like, I'm so low key. It's like, if something really gets me worked up, then you know it's upset me. I mean, I really don't hate everything, but I can always, even things I love, I can tell you, oh yeah, there's things about them that either don't make sense or could be better or, you know, whatever. But that doesn't mean that as a whole, it's any worse than what we're getting now or something like that, which is what a lot of these people will try and present is, oh, well, of course, the first 3 seasons of TNG were junk. You know, so what is that kind of a defense?
They're not, though.
Huh?
But they aren't junk.
Oh, yeah. I thought you said you are. I thought you said they are. I'm
no,
like,
they're not junk at all. Like, that was the problem.
But that's one thing that really bothers all of us, especially Rob and stuff, too, is when they try to tear down the old to pick up, you know, to try and justify the new. And it's like, that's not a real good case, because then all you're going to do is piss off people that are huge fans of that. And, you know, it goes with anything, not just Star Trek, though, too.
Yeah. That's true.
And like, I never seen so. Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say I'd never seen so many people bash the original Ghostbusters as much as after when the newer one was coming and after it come out, just to try and
or come even up with the second one. Even the second one,
especially the second, which is an easy target.
Yeah, come on. I saw that when I was a kid because I was like right at the right age where you get if you were a couple of years like behind seeing the original in '84 and you didn't see it all the time on HBO, you had the second one. So I remember loads of the stuff from the second one, just like I remember Police Academy 3 and 4 more than, or Revenge of the Nerds 2 more than the originals, because those are the ones that kept airing all day over and over again on television. And, you know, yeah, Ghostbusters 2 is nowhere near as good as the first one, but it was not that bad of a movie. I think people, you know, because it wasn't as good, people kind of just take shots at it. And I'll be the one to defend it all day. I thought it was really funny. But
oh yeah, it's a retread of the first movie, and that's one of the. I love the nostalgia critic. Don't get me wrong. I know all the shit that happened there. I know he's lost a lot of fans and stuff like that. But, you know, he recently did a Ghostbusters 2 video, and he had a lot of great points and how they could have made Ghostbusters 2 so much better. And a lot of those things were things I said for years.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, somebody else gets it, that they basically just went back and retread the first movie, because it was like, and it was like every time they tried to turn around and not retread the first film, that's all you did. You know, it's like, oh, well, we got to get back to something like the first movie or people aren't going to like it. And that's the way shit was sometimes in the 80s. Not every sequel was Godfather 2 or Empire Strikes Back or Police Academy 4.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Exactly. Yeah, and
that's the superior sequel, of course.
Yeah. Well, Police Academy 4 was amazing. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
On patrol. Citizens on patrol. This is our patrol. Citizens on patrol.
I know. Oh God! People don't realize that, you know, sometimes you kind of need dumb, stupid movies too that just take your mind off of stuff. They're just entertaining. This is why I'm so easy and lenient with stuff like Sharknado, or you know, like even though they're dumb and they're trying to be B movies. I mean, still sometimes you just need to kind of turn your brain off for something stupid. And I don't want to have to turn my brain off for something like Star Trek that is there to engage me and.
Well, you can do both.
Yeah.
If you're like not in the mood to really, there's plenty of episodes that aren't real heavy and, you know, intellect, and you can just zone out and enjoy the, you know, spectacle. Or there's ones that are really heavy duty, you know, get you into them.
Not every episode is Darmok. I mean, you know, you still have a few like funny
few episodes.
Data. I am not a merry man.
Data episodes. That one's So that's the best part of Star. Can you think of one episode in Star Trek Discovery season 1 that was actually funny?
But I think they tried with the Groundhog Day one. But and thank you so much, Rookie Critic, for the $5 super chat.
That was too dark and twisted. He's fucking killing it.
Oh yeah, that's true. They need to learn and improve from the past, not burn it and kill it and forget it. That's how all of us learn how to be good creators. Exactly.
True.
Exactly. You learn from your mistakes. You learn from history before you. People who ignore history are doomed to repeat it. And this is kind of why we need to, like, not just throw away the past. We don't need to kill it if you have to. And that's such a stupid message. Only an idiot would write that in a fucking movie.
I was just going to say that. Well, not only that, okay, first of all, you have the bad guy saying it. So that's cool. Exactly. Okay. So normally that would mean he's wrong. That's the wrong message.
Mm-hmm. But they don't play him as a bad guy, though. They play him as a fucking boy toy. They're trying to play off this Kylo, Reylo sort of shipping thing, like it's fucking Twilight, you know? And yes, I get it. You're supposed to kind of forgive your enemies and move past it and be the bigger person sometimes. But at the same time, we kind of need some flat, clear-cut messages in our mythology, in our stories, so we know what the hell's going on.
Well, The Last Jedi, and it's funny because we talked just a little bit about this, I think, last night or night before, after one of the shows about Nightmare on Elm Street, the remake. The Last Jedi reminds me of the remake of Nightmare on Elm Street in a lot of ways. Because even within the movie itself, it sets up all these things with, Kylo, like you're bringing up, that are interesting, and even Rey to a point that are interesting, where at some point it looks like they're going to cross paths, and she's going to turn to the dark side, and he's going to come back to his mother.
Yeah.
But just because Ryan has to subvert expectations, that doesn't happen.
Exactly. And now it's too late because Carrie's gone, so.
And the reason I bring up the Nightmare on Elm Street thing is because they spend most of the movie spoilers setting up that Freddy might be innocent.
Yeah. And that's...
And it goes nowhere at the end, yeah.
Yeah, it does kind of go nowhere. But, I mean, if Freddy is kind of... Yes, he's a bad guy, but also... He's an anti-hero as well because he was murdered and killed for
right, and that's why I thought, okay, I was almost on board with the remake because I'm like, okay, they're getting ballsy, they're changing the history of the character, but if he is innocent and was set up, that gives him even more motivation to go after these kids. Mm-hmm. But like I said, 2/3 of the way through the movie, you find out, nope, he's not innocent. All this, we wasted a bunch of time for nothing on this. It's going to end just the way you expected it to. And that's exactly what TLJ does. It's like, oh, they might flip-flop, and Rey might go to the dark side, and Kylo might go, oh, no, it's going to stay just the way it is. For no good reason, just because. Shit has to happen. Because, like, Kylo's turn back to the dark side is real sudden.
Exactly. And none of Last Jedi, like, really makes a whole lot of sense. There's all kinds of... bipolar sort of mood swings with a lot of the characters. Rose Tico is a kind of like example.
You wrote a first draft and didn't go back through it and make sure everything made sense, maybe.
Yeah.
And this is coming from somebody who actually works on scripts, because I've worked on this one script with my partner for a while now, and we have done I don't know how many rewrites on this script, and he started it before I even came on board, so it was already 2-3 drafts in. You can't do that in a movie. You can't just go on with what you have on the page. You have to go through it and make sure everything makes sense.
Yeah.
Because when you start filming and you're all out of order, your cast and most of your crew is not going to know anything, but your editor is going to be pissed at you at the end of the day. Once you get in the bane, he's like, dude, this does not make sense. This does not make sense if you do this. So you can't have that. And then by that point, it's too late. You're done shooting. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And then your editor's left with a disjointed, jumbled mess, and then you have to have Ivan Ortega there to fix it, like Last Jedi. Oh, thank you so much, Big Chap. £1.99. Here's for the Explorers versus STD crossover. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate the super chats, you guys. I'm going to try not to, like, interrupt Tom when they pop up, so don't think I'm going to forget you guys.
They're your super chats, and we do the same thing on our channel usually, so don't treat me any differently.
Well, I usually will just type it if I see it, like, if I'm on mic with you guys, but if I'm just, like, in the chat.
You're right, Hunky Chunky Monkey. TLJ is just one big plot hole within a black hole.
Yeah, it is. There's... You kind of have to have, it's the, what is it, Chekhov's gun sort of analogy, I guess, or example, where you have to, if you're going to have somebody get killed at the end of the day with a gun, you have to set up the gun is in the beginning of, you have to set it up, like, you can't just pull it out of your ass. And Bill and Ted did a lot of pulling shit out of their ass, but that's because they had a time machine and they were stupid stoner sort of types of guys.
But let's be honest, Bill and Ted is like...
It's not high art either. It's
stylized. It's also stylized to basically be like a live action cartoon.
Yes. You know,
it's
so
not
they
meant
can
to be taken seriously.
No, and they can just, with the time machine, just go back and fix everything.
Excellent.
Also, thank you so much, Ricky Critic. As Mahler said, death by 1,000 cuts is what The Last Jedi is. Good concept and ideas, but horribly constructed and poor response from Lucasfilm. Exactly, and that's kind of one of the things I'm working on is definitely calling out this toxic media that we have, because I am so sick to death of all of us being kind of pitted against each other by the media. Like they set this shit up where they set out to, with all these little buzzwords, and they all have the same playbook. This is why you had a million stories all about Solo flopping, where they said, and it's a good thing. Solo bombs at the box office, and here's why it's a good thing. And they all word it the exact same way, because people respond to these subliminal psychological tricks that the studios pay a lot of money to some of these research and marketing sort of people to kind of know how to get us all to kind of either love the movie, or, you know, when that doesn't work, they're now using these tactics to blame us when their movies don't work.
Yeah, and the quid pro quo with the studios is just getting so blatant. Like, how many, like, oh, we don't need Chris Pine to play Kirk stories have we seen?
Exactly.
Those are complete Paramount propaganda. And that's why us at Midnight's Edge, and I'm sure Random and everybody else that is in our community always say, you know, reiterates, look who's writing the story first. And if that entity is owned by some other larger entity.
Exactly.
You know,
and
because I think Time Warner owns Entertainment Weekly, don't they?
I think so. Well, from what I've heard, everybody says like that Entertainment Weekly is basically Disney's PR firm, because they get the exclusives. They get all the exclusive footage.
Maybe it is owned by one of their companies. That's just it. You got to look. I got to look again.
Yeah, and same thing with like Nerdist. They're owned by AMC Theaters. Well, they're owned by a company that AMC Theaters owns. So it's in their best interest to put a butt in the seat. That's why they give you all these like little spin sort of articles, like, you know, oh, here's the cool stuff that's coming out in the Han Solo movie, and
I think Collider suffers from that too.
Oh, thank you so much, Ricky Critic. Another $5 super chat. They read one article from someone who thinks we're toxic, and then the other person uses that article as fact, and the cycle continues. Exactly. Same thing. It's
not just that the studios are pushing that.
Yeah, and same thing with the Kelly Marie Tran thing, and same thing with. Like, you dig deep enough on that Kelly Marie Tran thing where she left social media, and the original source article was speculation. It was some idiot, like, for, like, a World Press blog sort of thing on a computer that said, oh, she probably left because she was bullied. And
or like you pointed out, like you pointed out on her editorial that she did herself. She never once in there indicated that trolls on Twitter were or Instagram or whatever were what the problem was. Nor did she attack the fans.
No. I
got to give her credit for that.
No, she didn't.
She sure did paint the studios and the people that she works for in a light that they should kind of turn around and look at. Yeah. Well, oh no, that's not what that article was trying to spin it, though, with the title and stuff. And a lot of people pointed out, a lot of times when they turn those in, the editor is the one who chooses what the title is and stuff like that. And I'm sure they edited her editorial down to the point where they best could.
Yeah, could best use it as for their agenda to push their to push their narrative, for sure. Here's $2 for you, Midnight. Get yourself a cookie. says Ricky Critic. Thank you so much for the super chat. That means I got a super chat.
That's early Simpsons.
Yeah, back when they were still good.
With the Santa's little helper when he got the new shoes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Santa's little helper.
He doesn't understand what you're saying.
No. Hello, Jess Oldfield. Yeah, Atari Leaf says, if Kelly Marie Tran left Twitter because of Star Wars trolls, no one from Disney would be on Twitter. Exactly. Well, and not only that, like, Disney should ban those people for doing the exact same fucking thing that this one person allegedly did that nobody has any pics for. You know, same thing with, like, now I'm hearing spin from, like, oh, now Lando Calrissian had all these racist comments back when Lando came into Empire Strikes Back. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Pixar didn't happen.
I like this revisionist history.
Yeah.
I do so much. It's so fucking funny. It's like when my parents, it's like, oh, you used to make me do this, and that, and the other when I was a kid. We did not. You know, and they're arguing with my kid, the grandkid, you know. Mm-hmm. You liars. You lie like a rug.
Yeah.
Just like, you always used to discipline me and do this and that, and we did not. You lie like a this revisionist history of grandparents. Oh, they were the prim and proper parents. Never, never, ever did they ever do anything that was out of line.
Oh, I know. And then they forget half of the stuff that happened. Like my mom even forgets half. My mom forgets my birthday though, and I'm an only kid. But yeah, so many. This is kind of another point of why we fight these sort of reboots and remakes and reimaginings, because in 100 years you're gonna have these stories mixed up all over the place. These could definitely be the stories that stand the test of time. These could be the odyssey of our generation to go out for the next 1,000 years, being told from person to person once we have like a giant apocalypse or something, and we have no more electronic media. And if you keep rewriting it, you're gonna have a giant game of telephone where you'll have like, people who only follow Star Trek up to this point. The same thing with like religious people who only follow up to, they only follow this version of the Bible. They only follow this version. They only follow this thing that some guy in Utah tells them. You have all these things and the different branches of like religion and mythology and stuff. And I don't want Star Trek to be that, because we're in a day and age where we can stop that. We can protect what is and what has come before. We don't need them rewriting it, and we don't need like 20 different versions of the same story out there just to fit whatever agenda of the week there is. We have all these shows. We have like with Star Trek, for example, when it aired in the 60s, it reflected the times for sure. Absolutely. You don't need to go back and retell that story again by giving us Mikey Spock and giving us any more Spock stories. Give us a new series in a new time with new characters that aren't related to, classic beloved ones, and say, yes, and when we made this was going on socially and politically and whatever. But don't taint our other stuff by having it so intertwined and so infused and it does. It's revisionist history of our mythology. So, yeah, I sound like a crazy person today.
Sorry, I thought I had it muted, so I hope everybody didn't hear me chickadee tapping it in there, because I was tapping in the chat.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I have my fan on. Hopefully, it's not too loud.
Yeah, I got my air on, so hopefully it's not bugging people out there. But no, it's just, and I like to, this is your show, and I'm just kind of I'm your Ed McMahon.
So we have two Ed McMahons? Oh no.
Was that what Doomcock said too?
No. I don't know, did he?
I don't. That's what I was wondering. It was like you had two Ed McMahons, or you mean Rob?
No, me.
Oh, you're not. Well, you're not Ed McMahon on here. You're Ed McMahon over there, maybe. But I wouldn't even consider you that. I still consider you an equal with Rob. So we're all co-hosts.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, and I don't have like that ego where I need to be the star of anything either.
No.
Because if it's my show, then I can kind of run with the chat and say everything. And sorry if you guys feel like I'm ignoring you when we have two people on. I am reading you guys as we go, so.
I'm trying to keep up as well. So it's a little easier on this, because then I can let her just go off. And
a lot of the time I rant. And hello, Alex James, happy Friday. So I have a delivery of something. So remember when we were talking? Okay. If you want to if you can turn on your stream on like your phone or something. I have a delivery. Remember the other day when I was talking about Polish Vampire in Burbank? So I did go on the site, and I did I did order a couple of things. So the remaster of Polish Vampire in Burbank, the new version. I got that one. It came with this for like $5 more, Rage of Innocence. It's a disturbed teenager sort of genre movie, which is going to be absolutely awesome. Totally want to watch this one. And I did pick up another little bundle that they had for one of his other new movies, The God Complex. Basically, you got a guy who's God, who basically tells people, "Are you fucking stupid?" It's like, and kind of going after some of the religious crap. And it came with a talking Jesus head sort of thingy that prayer answering talking head, which is exactly what we need. So it is featured in the movie too. So yeah, big box from Paramount. I didn't realize it would get here so quick, so I'm super excited actually.
It's like Buddy Jesus before Buddy Jesus.
Well, kinda, yeah. Or it's a different take on it. I think this one actually might have been later. But
I'm sorry, I should get my Kevin Smith card taken away. Buddy Christ.
Yeah, Buddy Christ.
Before somebody corrects me.
3 AA batteries not included. Please pray responsibly. I love this.
No, I will not.
Yes, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you will have received it, and it will be yours. So you got the quote there. The submissive Jesus prayer answering talking head. Jesus said that he will answer our prayers, but in all honesty, when was the last time he answered yours? With a submissive Jesus prayer answering head, the power of God is in your hands. Simply pray and believe. Then twist the crown of thorns in our Lord's head. The pain will force him to yelp and then instantly reply with one of 100 random phrases. Imagine the power you'll possess with the Son of God at your mercy and command. This is so me. This is why Mark Perot is one of my favorite filmmakers, and I've only seen like 4 of his movies so far. That is the thing. Next time I get paid, I'm going to pick up like the rest of them because they're all pretty much available on his site. Wow, that's horrible. I know, isn't it awesome? When was the last time you prayed with believing? I don't know. I'm kind of one of those godless heathens, so.
Godless heathen.
I know. It's so wrong and so funny at the same time. Yeah, and this is why I kind of like stuff that's not like social norm stuff, you know?
He doesn't have Blu-rays though, I suppose, huh?
Some of them, yeah.
Oh, I wonder if Vampire.
Actually, Polish Vampire is not, but that was the one that was made for like $2,000. So. Was
it shot on video or something back then?
It was shot on Super 8.
Oh, okay. Well, then I don't know if Blu-ray. Well, I don't know if Blu-ray helped that much.
Well, Death Row Game Show got re-released on Blu-ray, and that's basically kind of the Running Man. Only not really.
I'd have to ask some of the people I know, but I wonder if anything lower than like 16 millimeter would even really make a difference in HD or not.
Yeah. And I think that like they had to ADR everything, and they could only shoot at night because like the Dracula set or the castle sets or the Universal Dracula set from back then.
So they made it like a porno, basically.
Kind of. It's kind of on the budget of a porno for sure.
Yeah, that's exactly how they basically did a lot of them back then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you had speaking scenes, they were all overdubbed and.
Yeah.
A lot of the weird noises and stuff.
D Predator, I pray in the metal church. Yes. Yeah, wow, Super 8. There are definitely
What's sad is they didn't even care if the moans sunk up or not.
I know. Well, some of the like the really low budget porn stuff is definitely like that.
Yeah, the bad ones, yeah.
So we got Letterboxd. It's actually widescreen for Polish Vampire.
16:9 or
yeah, I think so. Which
would have been, it's still cropped because Super 8's a full square.
So I love this. LA Weekly said, for a mere $6 million more, this could have easily been American Werewolf in London. Yeah, it's actually not bad. They're not bad movies. They're funny.
Like I said, I remember it being funny as shit when I was a kid, but I wonder if it stands up.
Well, I watched it not too long ago, and I still kind of like it. But did you see My Mom's a Werewolf?
Long ass time ago on cable, yeah.
Okay, that like, I did
late 80s, early 90s when it came out, yeah.
I did finally find that on DVD. It's in one of my 50 packs, like the B movie collection, and Mark Perot actually directed that. I don't think he wrote it, but I know he directed it. So he's not a bad.
And I can't think of the guy who's one of the stars in it, isn't it?
John Saxon.
Oh, is he? Is that one? Or is okay, I'm thinking of a different one.
And well, John Saxon is like the werewolf that bites the mom, and I think John Shuck is the dad.
That's what I was thinking. Okay, that's the one I was thinking of. Because I'm like, it's got Painless from MASH in it. And I could never think of his name, and Rob always remembers for me.
Yeah, John Shuck is the
You're
dad.
my Rob today. I'm going to call you Rob, too.
And the girl from Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, part 6 or 7, the kind of geeky girl, the kind of chubby geeky girl. I can't remember her name. She was like the best friend. She was kind of the chubby best friend in My Mom's a Werewolf. I can't remember her name.
Okay, I think I remember the one you're talking about now.
Yeah.
You sure she's not in part 8?
She's not in part 8 because 8 was Jason Takes Manhattan. She was in the one that I don't think it had the girl with the telekinetic stuff.
7. Oh, you don't think so? Okay,
well, it's either 6 or 7. Shirt. Yeah, I think she'd have the purple shirt.
At the end, kind of look all sexy and shit when she goes out to get killed. She was trying to hit on that one guy and she loses her glasses.
Yeah, I think so.
That's part 7 then.
Okay. God, it's been so long since I've seen that.
Part 6 doesn't really have a geeky character, so that's why I was like, it's got to be either 7 or 8.
Well, she wasn't kinky. She was kind of the geeky.
Geeky.
Oh, yeah.
Geeky, that's what I said, sorry.
7. Part 7.
That's what I meant.
Images. Now I gotta pull up images here. You guys will know in chat too. You'll totally get it. Yeah, because it wasn't the telekinetic girl. It might actually be, because I remember it was like an early one that I saw. You turned on your camera. See, this is why I'm like, oh, you're entertaining my chat. Where's the geeky girl from Part 7? Now I'm like looking.
I was dancing.
Yeah, I know, but I totally edited the thing, so like you only see like a square. Because you told me there was too much black on.
So I gotta be like right here.
Yeah.
You see me now? There you go. I need to shave.
All right, it's this girl. Maddie Paulson. She played. Who did she play? Who did she play? She was Maddie. Okay, she's Maddie.
I swear that's the girl from the 7th movie. Then.
All right. Well, this is it.
That's the one I was talking about, I think.
I found her. So yeah, she was also in My Mom's a Werewolf. Welcome to Remembering Random Movie Facts.
I think we wasted way more time.
I know. How are you guys doing in chat? Are you guys talking about Friday the 13th? We are. Hello, Planet TV. Yeah, here's where we just kind of geek out and talk about stupid movies and stuff. This is like Midnight's Edge After Dark every stream. Like when we kind of get going, just talking about movies and stuff, because we all kind of grew up around the same time with the same movies. So. I'll link you guys in chat too here. This is who we're talking about from the wiki, from the Friday.
Oh, I don't have my Twitter up here. Hang on.
I put it in the chat too.
Oh, let's put it there then.
But yeah, it's
wiki.
See, you get me kind of started on these like weird movie things.
Yeah, that's who I was talking about. She's from Part 7.
Okay, and I was confused. Part 6 and 7.
They dress her up. Well, she gets all like dressed up with makeup and stuff at the end.
Yeah.
Near the end. Well, right before she gets killed, she's gonna go try and ask that guy out or whatever, and she loses her glasses. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of the thing with with a lot of those slasher movies is like I've seen them so long ago for some of them. It's not like Nightmare on Elm Street where I just remember every single instance and actor and director and character and.
Well, I've probably seen them more the Fridays more than you, but like probably. Nightmares, we'd have a pretty good contest between the two of us probably.
Probably.
You'd probably win purely because I'm sucky with names. It's not like I don't know who I'm talking about, but it's like the name.
Yeah. Well, and sometimes like the name. Well, like the I can't remember the actor's name, but he played Alice's brother, and he ended up in the video game Night Trap as well. So, have you ever played Night Trap?
Yes. Well, I haven't played the game, but I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
$2 super chat.
You keep giving her that much, she's gonna be able to buy either a lifetime fun of ramen noodles or go out to McDonald's once.
Well, hey, $2 will buy a whole box of 10.
That was a bad joke. I didn't even get the giggle TM on that one. That was a dumb joke.
Giggle TM. Yeah, Planetober says, 'tis the season to binge on all this stuff. I know, it's like Halloween season. I always try and like get ready for Halloween with horror movies and all this stuff. And then I kind of keep going for a couple of months because I'm tired of Santa sticking his dick into my Halloween season. Like, seriously, get your shit off. Like, get your shit out of the store until at least like.
I love Halloween.
No, really, he does. He kind of like Christmas just kind of forces their way into Halloween season, so I guess it's the best way to describe it. He sticks his dick into it, but
well, you're not wrong. You know, most stores you go to, they already got Christmas stuff taken over about a third of the Halloween racks already.
Oh yeah, when I worked in Vegas at Macy's, they had Christmas tree stuff and Christmas ornaments. They would have people in August and like unwrapping and setting up in September.
Yeah.
Halloween season generally lasts 6 months for me. Yeah.
Got some good stuff lined up for Halloween on After Dark or on the main channel. That's awesome. That gets me excited.
Your wife and you got married on Halloween because you're nerds. Awesome. That is cool. Congrats. Like, yeah, that's a good day to get married too. Like, if you're like a Halloween nerd and you love like the horror movies and all that stuff, absolutely.
I remember in 1994 on Halloween it snowed, and the only reason I remember that is because I had the new Nightmare Freddy Glove trench coat get up.
That's
Halloween. Cool. I'm like cutting into the snow with the claws, leaving trail marks.
When I was
like it's snowing on Halloween.
Oh, when I was 10, there was like it was like slush snow because Colorado is a little slightly warmer climate. But slushy, like the slushy snow was just terrible, and I was dressed as Elvira, so I had like this dress and the wig and all this stuff. Well, I was 10, so I wasn't like a sexy Elvira. I was cute. I was cute Elvira. but yeah, like
you feel like a weirdo now. Thanks.
Well, I said I was 10, but I was a cute Elvira.
That is a pretty cool 10-year-old costume, I guess.
And the funny thing is, like, they had a costume contest at a store that kind of was like a sort of farm tractory sort of Western wear store. So they had an Elvis and Elvira lookalike contest. I was the only person who showed up for Elvira, so I won their prize. But
awesome.
It was a $50 gift certificate for their stupid store. Like, what am I gonna do with this? What is anybody gonna? Yeah, they didn't say that in their rules, but you know.
I was always pretty good at winning the costume contest, and I'm sure you can imagine why, but just because of how eccentric I am, and coming from a small town, I didn't have a lot of competition. So the one year I did get pissed off that somebody else won was this one kid who, of course, his parents were rich enough that they could buy him the full 1989 Batman rubber suit.
Oh, cool.
They could buy at a store. So of course he won. It's like, well, fuck you. He made his, or he didn't make his. I made mine.
Yeah.
Mine looked pretty goddamn good for homemade.
Well, God, that was like Seraph. Last year, he made a foam cosplay thing of a battle mage, a character he created, and he built it out of the foam stuff himself, and some asshole at his job won for a store-bought costume they got off of Amazon of like a scarecrow.
I hate that. I hate when you go to a costume contest and somebody wins with a store-bought costume. It's like, really? There's no love or thought or anything put into that, no craftsmanship. They shouldn't win for going out and having the most money to buy the fanciest costume. I'm sorry.
Exactly. But,
well, yeah,
and he lied even, I think. The guy lied and said he didn't until, like... Yeah, and you can go find the costume on Amazon. It's one of those burlap sack scarecrow ones that, yeah, they look good, but...
But yeah, I didn't get to tell the punchline earlier with the whole 1994 snowing thing. I was trying to get to and I was sticking his dick in that Halloween already, obviously, because it was snowing. So
yeah, that's true.
But it's a little late now, so it's not as funny now.
Sorry, we go off on tangents all the time.
You know how often that happens, even more so on After Dark, because I gotta compete with Rob over there. So I usually let him have the punchlines.
Yeah, so you don't have to worry about that. I'm not funny or anything.
Oh, bullshit. You're pretty funny. You drop the mic all the time on Doomcock. Are you kidding me? You're probably the only one who can.
Maybe. Well, I think Doomcock and I have like that familiarity that like we kind of know exactly where the other one's going with the joke.
Part of it's just because, well, not only that, you get a trump card in there because you're a woman, so you can always get something in there that he's not going to be able to comment on.
Oh, but he does anyway, though. He just rolls with it.
Well, he will, but you still win. You know, usually then it's like, well, I can't argue with that, or something like that.
Yeah. They're saying in chat that, who was it? Alex James, you have to do a live stream as Elvira on Halloween. I will probably do a Halloween live stream of some sort. Last year I played Friday the 13th live, and I wore a sort of devil costume sort of thing. But
I could do a Halloween live stream in a bunch of different costumes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I'm terrible at costumes and stuff. I'll just buy something anymore. I don't put work into it. I've never really done cosplay sort of costumes, but I do have like a Freddy one that I need to kind of modify. It's one of those Lady Freddy,
sexy Freddy,
kind of. But they're so sized so weird that like they make them like 4 sizes too small, and
to show off the naughty bits.
Yeah, because they have the slashes like there and stuff, and yeah, so I might have to modify it a little bit. It's just way too tight in the sleeves, which is weird. Like, why would you make it? I don't know. They make it for like skinny women, but I do have the glove, and it came with the hat, so it's sitting in a closet. I didn't get to wear it last year because I didn't have time to modify it.
You're not allowed to be voluptuous anymore. You're either allowed to be pleasantly plump or whatever you want to call it, or like I am, or just a skinny woman.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to the voluptuous women like random?
I don't know. Well, and that's the thing. Look at that stupid article, that magazine article that I keep having to bring up, because they want toothpicks. They want like 80-pound toothpicks, which is fine if that's your body type, but they kind of only would do that, and now their overreaction is to get the 400-pound woman in the other way. Like, you know, where are the Jones from Mad Men? Where are the normal looking people? Where are the
right?
Because
that's what I was getting to.
Yeah, your average person, like, and that's the other thing with like the geek girl sort of stereotype. They always have like the really skinny girls with the butter faces on every single
that are extremely overweight.
Yeah, or like 400-pound women. And they never look at the Big Bang Theory. Every single geek girl they had on there has been, you know, butterface but toothpick. You know, like I hate to use the girls from Garfunkel and Oates as kind of my go-to geek girls, but they are toothpicks with butterfaces. I'm sorry, Felicia Day, kind of a toothpick with a butterface, and I know a lot of people think she's cute.
We're gonna get in trouble because you're talking about girls' bodies again, and you're a girl.
Fuck it! I'm gonna say what's on my mind, and I'm not gonna have some
Nerdrotic.
I'm not gonna have some toxic person say anything otherwise. Hello, Nerdrotic.
Sorry, I got distracted by Gary's beard. I don't even have to see it.
Yeah, you gotta stroke the beard.
It's so manly, it makes me unmanly. It just makes me like grovel in its presence.
Hey, it's okay to be a little gay sometimes.
But it's just for his beard. You know. I don't want his, you know.
The stereotypes are exactly what the geek girls at my office look like, Seraph says. Are they? I didn't even know that.
It's more of it's one of those things. It's more like, I can imagine it's more like when girls see a girl with much bigger breasts walking down the street and you're like, God, I wish I had those. Mm-hmm. You know, something like that. It's the same thing, I guess, with guys and beards. Because like that is something that it takes a lot of work to do that. And I admire that. Because that takes a lot of work to get it to that point, to look that good. And because not all guys look good with a beard either. So
that's true. That's true.
And I mean, I probably could do it, but I don't know.
Well, then you get like a certain type of guy that looks really good with a goatee, and a certain type of guy who looks really good with like a shaved head.
That's generally that's generally where I think I look better is with a goatee. That's just my personal opinion, though. But I really need to shave, so that's why I'm not on camera today. Otherwise, I would be.
Random sexual inequality issues are gonna get her and Midnight's Edge. Alex Jones. I know.
Random did exactly what I always used to do to her and let her know at the last minute we're going live, so I didn't have time to do my makeup. Right.
Yeah, not only that, we're like struggling to find stuff to talk about because there's a couple of like articles, but there's
a few things to talk about, but it's more like, well, it's like the same shit, different day kind of thing.
Yeah,
with like the Les Moon Vez and the, you know. But there was the interesting thing about, and the other one's kind of like it's not so much a story as it's just like, oh, that's interesting. Yeah, that Zachary Quinto has been cast in. I don't even remember what the hell the name of the show is now.
Jonah Hill's. What is it? Oh, this is from 1428. Susan wrote this.
Yes, it is. Yes,
Susan.
She did.
Our Susan. We love Susan. Go check out Susan. Go click on here. We're going to link her article.
Please do.
You found Susan's article. I didn't even find it. Did.
I even commented on it right away. So I'm like, oh, well, I guess, won't he be busy, filming Star Trek 4?
Maybe not. Yeah, so it says, she says, Zachary Quinto lands lead role in Joe Hill's NOS 4A2 series. I don't know what that is, but it's an AMC series, it looks like.
What I brought up to you is that's not even the important part. The fact that he got cast in a series is almost like pretty much blowing the horn that Star Trek 4 is not being made.
Yep. Yeah, and I'm reading through her article here. I don't see any typos or misspellings, so some writers can write. And I'm not seeing any so far.
I'm not trying not to clap too loud.
Oh no, go ahead. Like it's like some of these...
Mary asked me said she couldn't find it. She posted it on her Twitter, so if not, go ahead and add her on Twitter. I'm sure she posts them all on there. So.
Yeah, she does. She always tweets out. Plantober TV, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Mistress of Dark livestream costume fun. Now I'm gonna have to go and find one. I'm pretty sure the Halloween superstores are gonna be opening up pretty soon. Ricky Critic, $2 super chat. Talk about how you see pop culture 10 years from now.
Batman is going to be a transgender Asian woman.
Yeah. Excellent. Transgender Asian woman. It's like the old it's like the old Dead Milkman song from Metaphysical Graffiti. They had like a little reoccurring song that they kind of kept going back to, and one installment of it was they had a sort of type of person they were describing was a lesbian left-handed midget albino. I can't remember what else, but man, I gotta go find it.
Speaking of trans Asian women, this is totally off topic other than the trans Asian woman thing. Did you see what Rolling Stone did and tried to torture everybody with Yoko Ono's new song?
I didn't. Oh, I saw you tweet about that. I didn't listen to it.
God, is that thing nasty? But anyway, all right.
Talk about it.
Oh, what is there to say? She still can't sing.
She never could. Well, she was a performance artist, though.
Excuse me. Yeah, well, she's stick to that.
Well, and she's one of those people that doesn't belong on the mainstream pop music scene. She belongs with the Residents and these sort of like obscure little bands that are experimental. You know, she's. And I like using the Residents as my go-to example for like really experimental stuff, because, or Frank Zappa even, or, you know, she's a performance artist. She's not a pop singer.
She's never heard of auto-tune. And here's a tip: if you know you really, or you should be aware of, or you're aware that your musician cannot sing, don't put singers underneath them who can.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it just makes them stand out even more. It is like some of the most monotone, out-of-tune crap you've ever heard. It's like some remake of a pop song.
Yeah, and that's why I don't like singing on camera so much, because I think I'm terrible. And I know a million people who like to sing, and they sound like shit. And you know, for I know
I can't really sing, but I at least know I sound better than that. I'm sorry.
So I don't want to be like torturing people.
I know I'm out of tune, but that's just because my voice is just destroyed, you know?
Yeah, and I have to kind of hear it, because then I can kind of go in the same key or whatever. I have to have it in my ear.
Yeah, I used to be really good at harmonizing, and I can't anymore just because, I'm shot. So that's why I do a lot of this. At one point, I thought I was going to be a rock star, be a big rock star.
Me too.
Money.
Yeah, me too. That was my when I was a teenager. I read all these crappy songs, and I thought I'm so glad the internet wasn't around back then. Like, we didn't have YouTube, because then I'd have a bunch of cringy videos of me playing the acoustic guitar in my bedroom or my electric guitar late at night, and it would have been terrible. Well,
of course, almost all of our bands were like these alternative bands, and we always wound up with that moody lead singer who really couldn't sing anyway. And the closest we got was, there was this band that was in, and they wanted to sign us to the small little label, but they wanted us to get rid of the singer. But the problem was, the singer pretty much was the owner of the band, the name, all that. And they're like, oh, we can get rid of it. But of course, like 3 out of the rest of us were like totally loyal to the singer. So I was like, well, they ain't gonna just take a rhythm guitarist and a drum player or something, fuck that, so I was like, that's over.
Yeah, there's bands I absolutely love, like the Warlock Pinchers. I try and display them because I absolutely love them. They could have been huge, but nope, they just didn't. Some of the band members didn't want to tour, and they kind of got left in obscurity in this local Colorado band. So,
well, I've left too many bands just because of these egotistical lead.
The talents that you can never like get to like commit to times, and
Well, it's not just that; they get real jealous of you if you show them up in any way.
Yeah, they're not team players.
No, oh God, no. Especially if you tell them they're like, because with the one guy, he also played guitar. He was the lead player and sang. And I showed him he was playing something wrong, and he got all pissed because I'm not a lead guitarist. And I even had to like show him the tabs, and he still got pissed at me and claimed I was wrong, and he was just playing it right, and that's wrong. That they printed the tabs wrong. I'm like, dude, these are the tabs. They. And listen to it, and everybody's like, yeah, dude, you're playing it wrong. Oh, he got pissed. Next thing I know is I'm not a part of the band anymore.
Your dog channel says Wolf Mother. I actually really like Wolf Mother.
Sorry, I don't usually get into talking about that shit.
Well, like I said, I think the more we like find out, and the more we do these streams, I think like, I think Doomcock put a really good team together here of like people who have a shit ton of stuff in common. We all have some sort of talent background, some sort of entertainment background, some sort of writing and comedy and all these sort of things. But
that was just in high school and shit.
Yeah, and well, even amateur stuff. I mean, like, yeah, I've got my crappy amateur songs and stuff. I got my crappy amateur poetry. Like, I only have one thing that's actually published, but man, like,
I've had like reviews and articles and stuff published, but I've never, I always tried to sell songs. I always thought I was pretty good at writing songs. Especially like 3-minute radio.
Yeah. Songs. Well, and that's another thing. Like, sometimes you get people like me who get like stuck in the yes, but I don't want to make something that's just this. I want to pour my soul into it, and that's one of my problems. I did a
few albums, and they kind of sound like I'm trying to be too much Pink Floyd or. Like
a lot of time you can't hide your influences. Like, when I just kind of dick around on guitar, you cannot hide my influences. You can hear Slayer, Danzig, Typo Negative, and all those things when I play, and the Doors, and that's all you can hear in my stuff, and punk rock, and the Misfits. But like that's what you can hear.
My last album I wasn't too embarrassed about, but it just, I don't know. Everybody who listened to it said it's really good, but they couldn't place the genre and shit like that. Or they would say, well, they wouldn't say it was good. They'd say, oh, it's really interesting. It's just not my style, which is a nice way of saying they didn't like it.
Yeah.
It's probably one of my more ambitious ones. Maybe I'll have to send you that one someday.
Yeah.
I don't tell too many people that shit, but
yeah, I don't show people my stuff either. It's like so personal. It's so cringe too when I go back.
There is one song out there. If you seek it out, you can find it. It's kind of hidden somewhere on a different channel somewhere. But anyway, I'm gonna shut up.
Planto Borrow, dude. All my stuff sounds like, dude, this guy really wants to be Typo Pumpkins, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, Typo Negative were so good and amazing. Like, and then I have like all of these sort of favorite band influences, like Warlock Pinchers or the Electric Hellfire Club, who use like samples of movies in their music, and they all kind of have the devil music sort of message. And pretty much any band I listen to has kind of, well, sometimes they have like a darkness to them. Pretty much any band I like that has like a darkness to them. Except for Ween, they're like kind of on the opposite end of the spectrum, you know. Because even like there's a Christian band that I really love. It's two bands basically, but it's the same guy. 16 Horsepower and Woven Hand, but they sound darker than a lot of like metal sometimes, and they're heavy, and they're like heavy, dark, moody Dylan influenced stuff, and with kind of sprinkles of Native American chanting and sprinkles of like old Western hellfire and brimstone preachers and. You know, I find some really interesting things when I kind of dig really obscure and dig really deep, but... What's my favorite Ghost song? There's too many good Ghost songs! Like, I kind of get stuck on, I kind of get stuck going back into, God, like, Life Eternal is one I keep kind of going back to. Square Hammer I keep going back to, because that's, like, the main one. Dance Macabre is a good one, too. There's too many good Ghost songs! Too many good Ghost songs. I was talking to Doomcock about Ghost last night a little bit. He's like, oh my god, did you hear Square Hammer? Yes, that was like the first one. But it was so funny. But yeah, Ghost is one of those good bands too that like you can kind of hear, and the Rocky Erickson stuff. You can hear the Rocky Erickson influence on a lot of their stuff, and I definitely have a lot of Rocky Erickson influence too, so. Doomcock versus Ghost. Doomcock is Ghost. No. No, he's not. There's a theory, though. Is Doomcock really the singer from Ghost? No. Doomcock versus Ghost. I don't know who would win. That's so weird.
Doomcock does need his own band.
He does. He does. 'Cause, like, the one time I got to sing with him...
Doomstock is going to be a thing. We're going to produce an album.
I really wish we would have recorded that one time I was, like, just tipsy enough to be able to sing in front of somebody. Because I think we did an okay job.
You said you did great, and I wanted to hear
it. well, we sang we went back and forth on The Man That Got Away, so I started the first verse, and he kind of kept up, so... Currently loving Year Zero. Oh, Year Zero's a good one, too. Yeah, Year Zero I crank like right before streams usually. I love the devil band sometimes.
See, and you're gonna have to show me some of these because if you are thinking they're okay in Doomcock, I'll check them out. But like, I don't listen to a lot of stuff outside of anything past like 1990.
Yeah.
Something.
Well, and Ghost kind of sounds a little like they have a lot of 80s pop influence and yeah, and then they have a lot of metal. Like if you like a lot of the heavier stuff, then you might like them, but I don't know if you kind of like you said, you like
not real into heavy stuff. Yeah, I'm more into. I mean, I like hard rock and stuff. Don't get me wrong, but you know, like my limit's usually like Metallica, Megadeth, maybe some Iron Maiden, but then past that, I mean, I think Manson's okay. I think Zombie and stuff like that are okay, but that's like pop hard shit. So it's like that's even like diet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, when it gets to like the not really.
Oh, well, I hate growly metal. I like melodic stuff. That's why I really love Blind Guardian because they're like a
there's
full
some
orchestra.
good stuff out there. Yeah, I've heard people. It's just I have a hard time with a lot of the newer music because it's just so fake.
Yeah, and I think that's why I like Ghost because they don't sound a lot like a lot of the newer music. They sound very retro.
And normally I'm not one who likes a lot of lawsuits when it comes to music because it's so easy to use the same type of chord progression and make a completely different song.
Exactly.
And when some people get so petty, it's it's like, come on. But when you have so many situations like we have lately, it's starting to get to the point where a lot of these are just too close to the originals to be coincidences.
Yep. Oh yeah. Well, it was funny. Do you remember when I can't remember the record label, but they sued The guy from
I've
Creed's
heard of
Clearwater.
Disturbed and Dragon Force, yeah. Yeah, for copying himself.
Copying himself. It's like, yeah, of course he copied himself. He has kind of the similar song style. And that's kind of me. I kind of have a similar song style of pretty much anything I write. And I can never, like, play other people's stuff, but I can always kind of play the stuff I write for the most part. And that's kind of all you need.
It's kind of like an artist in a lot of ways. You know, sometimes you can copy another artist really well, but, you know, every artist kind of has their own style.
Yeah. Ghost is like Judas Priest with keyboards and a 70s Blue Oyster Cult vibe. Yeah, there's a few of them. There's one that really kind of has a huge hint of Don't Fear the Reaper without sounding like it. It just sounds inspired by. Is it Zenith? Is that the one I'm thinking of? There's one Ghost song that really sounds like, oh, they were influenced by Don't Fear the Reaper, but they're not copying it.
Burnfried, Axe-Wielder. Who gets sued for copying himself? Well, John Fogerty did. Yeah, John Fogerty he had to basically show in court how he wrote both songs, how they're not the same damn song, and how just because they sound similar is because that's his writing style. That's what Random was getting to. And if you've heard all of CCR songs, yeah, they're all different, but they all have a similar sound to them. Yeah. But you can still tell them apart.
And I think that's that kind of, it's kind of like having an artist's brush strokes for people who are super art nerds. You know, you can kind of tell somebody's style based on what they wrote or what they painted or what they created musically, because everybody kind of has their own flavor that they kind of bring to the party. So that's why when you listen to the Beatles stuff, you can kind of go in and say, oh, well, this is clearly a John Lennon song with Paul's verse right here in the middle. Yeah. Like you can hear it, and especially when you have two songwriters like Lennon and McCartney who are similar but not at all. You know?
Well, and just to be clear, Burnford, just so you know why he got sued is because back when they were CCR, they made one of those really bad contracts like a lot of bands did in the 70s and stuff, to where they owned all their old music. So he technically owned the rights to the song, but since he didn't write it, the judge kind of basically ruled that you can't copyright, or you can't copy yourself.
Yeah.
And you can't sue the person who wrote something for copyright infringement. So it's kind of a, yeah. I mean, in truth, the judge might have actually overstepped his bounds a little bit, since the guy did technically own the rights to the original song, but since they were distinctly enough different, and basically that song was an homage to the other song. So I think it was Run Through the Jungle, and I can't remember the other song. It was that it was one of his
Man Down the Road or something?
Yeah, something like that. It was one of his newer ones. It was his new one at the time, but the whole point was it was paying homage to the old CCR songs anyway.
Yeah, and he has like his own fingerprint. I mean, you can't do something completely different and not piss off half your fans. That's why kind of all the U2 songs are they all have like that U2 guitar sound, and they all have...
Yeah, that's Bob Dylan.
Yeah. Planet Tower says, y'all are making me want to play some music. Yeah, I get really into music quite a bit. That's kind of my passion than anything. Like, I will absorb a band. I will just get so into a band for like a year out of my life. And
what sucks about YouTube is if they could work out some kind of deal with ASCAP, especially since they have the ability to digitally pick up all these songs, and you could do a lot more music type shows and stuff like that, and still have some revenue share, and the songwriters and the bands and whatnot actually would get their cut of the money too. You know, and it'd be fair on everybody. But no, if you go start putting songs on, you know, as soon as certain people copyright, they take all the money. And yeah, it's just, it sucks. Because there are a lot of times I'd love to do like music shows.
I know, but you can't use any footage or any clips from it. And like, I would
not just that, but like, but yeah, like I'd love to like go and dive into like, you know, how there's different versions of songs and stuff, you know, and early versions and stuff you can find, and, you know.
God, maybe that's something we could do. We could do like music trivia album cover night or something.
We could do something like that, yeah. But what sucks is you can't actually use the music. That's what really
but you can pop up the album cover and like zoom in. Because I've seen some videos where they have like with anime channels, like they'll zoom in on some iconic image and you have to guess it by like a tiny corner of the picture. So you could probably do that with like album covers or something.
Right. Well, like just a perfect example, like when I recently did the Tommy McLaughlin interview and we got into the Alice Cooper part, and he talks about the first version of Man Behind the Mask being completely different musically than the one we got. I've heard that version, and some people probably out there have, because it's on this really massive Alice Cooper box set. And I would have loved to have put it on there, but I knew it would probably get copy struck because my cover version of it, which was an acoustic cover of the song, got copy struck.
Yeah. Yeah, I had that in like comedy night all the time. So the game Comedy Night. Sorry, I just popped a Rolo in my mouth. I'm like starving too. I think I'll abandon the stream. Why are you abandoning the stream?
What's the matter, Annie Lancaster? Getting boring.
I'm sorry, we're boring. Sorry, did I say something? Did I not?
Well, we're kind of ignoring the chat.
I'm sorry, I'm ignoring you guys in chat. We're just blabbing. And Sarah,
that's my fault. Oh, we really
chat.
haven't. I was answering like the CCR question and stuff.
I hear the new Mikas are out. Since I'm sure you were going to want a few if you're going to float you a few bucks. Oh, thank you so much.
You were telling me about some Migos and other news.
Yeah, I think the Gorn was out. But I think 90 Lancaster did say, where do we see stuff in the 10 years? And I didn't get to answer that one either. And I'm sorry I didn't get to answer that one. About where 90s... I see...
Go ahead.
Where I see pop culture in the next 10 years. It is, for me...
Yeah, we didn't really answer that.
Oh, that was the Rookie Critic who asked that. But, I do somebody asked that. For me, pop culture in 10 years is going to be, we're going to be having a lot more independent stuff. We're going to have this resurgence of pop culture where we, where we do crowdfunding more, where we do, where we do, God, where we do like more independent projects. Like, you know, we'll have YouTubers who make their own movies and stuff. I think we're going to have some more independent sort of stuff pop up like that. We already see that with like Comicsgate and all these people like Ethan Van Sciver who have these massive crowdfunded comic campaigns because people aren't buying the mainstream shit. But I don't know. What do you think? Do you think that we're gonna get like a resurgence of like fan projects and we're gonna
that'll totally happen. Well, as long as they don't, as long as the studios and stuff don't start cleaning up their act. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna see a lot of people be like, "Yo, fuck that."
We're gonna go
check this guy's thing out. Yeah.
And I'm
gonna go check this guy's thing out because he's more cool with it. He understands it.
Yeah, and you're not going to be like. Well, with the movie theaters kind of failing also, we're going to have this sort of... I think we're going to have less studio movies kind of come out. I think we're going to go back to maybe where only the big budget ones even come out in theaters. You know, you're going to have your independent movies or your lesser budgeted movies that are just going to go straight to home release like they already are. A lot of them, anyway, go right to Netflix. We're going to have more of that coming. So we're going to have fewer stuff like Atomic Blonde and John Wick sort of movies in the theater, which sucks. But at the same time, you're going to be able to cut out the middleman. You're not going to have to deal with, you know, the assholes texting you. You know, you're also going to have a lot more VR sort of virtual theater experiences. And already your home theater is like better than what a lot of these movies are producing.
In a lot of cases, yeah.
But yeah, and I think a lot of it, I think a lot of us are just going to get frustrated with our old franchises. I think we're going to move on in a few years. We're going to, like right now we're in the stage of grief where we're still bitching about our ex, you know, with all of these things.
Kind of.
And cause like all of these
franchises. Or we're still in the process of the breakup.
We're still in the process of the breakup with Star Trek too. And we're kind of finding that, you know, our franchises are kind of going after this fan base of people who are half our age, half our IQ, who only want it because it's cute and trendy and shiny and new to them. And they have us loyal people who they're just kind of tossing aside. And they're going to try and come crawling back. But by then, we're going to move on to the next big thing because, you know, we got tired of being dicked around. We got tired of being cheated on. We got tired of being, you know, like tossed aside, basically. And while these studios go through their proverbial midlife crisis, I guess, for lack of a better word. And I think that we're going to find new stuff. And I think it's really sad that we're so angry because we know.
Geriatric crisis for a lot of them.
Yeah. and we're so sad because we know that these things are dying and we don't want them to die. We don't want to see these franchises die in front of our face. But yeah.
Well, it's kind of happened. And that's the sad part is if you look at a lot of these big studios that we thought would, you know, be, not to borrow a term, but too big to fail, are failing. And that's where Fox finally said, and you know what? We're doing okay, but we're not going to be able to compete in the upcoming landscape. So we need to either adjust one way or the other, and that's where Disney
sold and
yeah, it looked like a best opportunity for everybody, and you're going to see the same thing. I have a feeling Paramount's going to change hands, or the merger is going to happen.
Yeah.
You're going to see that merger could also bring in another entity. You never know. Because I'm not sure where MGM stands now with this Fox buyout. Cause I don't think they were involved in that, but Fox was helping MGM out with a lot of their distribution and shit. I know that. And I think Sony was too. So I think they were like cross-pollinating a lot, or they were, because MGM's barely a studio anymore. And then, you know, and then Sony.
Thank you for subscribing, Static Pain. Also, Huggy Chuggy Funky Monkey, thank you for the £5 super chat. He says, my cat sneezed over the back of my head. So as punishment, I'm giving you the money I've spent on treats this month. Aw, poor kitty doesn't get treats.
Oh, not take it. Don't take it. I do the same thing, though. I threaten my cat. You're not getting no treats.
And then they look at you. Meow.
No, all he hears is treats. So he goes to the place where he normally gets his treats.
They go, treats?
Same thing with the dog.
Yeah, they know
supper
the word.
And treats, yeah. You're not getting no supper. They go right to where supper, yeah. They think it's supper time. That's all they hear is blah, 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 supper.
Yep.
Yeah, so. But yeah, I was going to say, it's Sony, you know, they could sell to somebody else, but then again, the movie studio is a big, even though it drags down a big part, even though it drags down everything else, it's a big part of their synergy and their media situation where they like to have you watching a Sony, like Andre says, watching a Sony movie on a Sony TV in a Sony Blu-ray player, or preferably a PS4.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which is to go off on another thing, but since you used to be a gamer channel,
yeah,
which makes everybody wonder why in the hell they didn't put 4K Blu-ray into PS4. It made no sense not to, but that was the biggest mistake Sony made in the long run, I think. But anyway.
Yeah. Fragmania says, I've lived long enough to see all of my beloved childhood franchises taken away from me, change into something else for other people. Exactly. And I was talking to somebody today on Twitter, and it really dawned on me that using the breakup analogy is so right, because you're gonna have, like, you know, you're in a relationship with the studios and with, like, Star Trek or Star Wars, and all of your friends are now taking sides versus, like, you or the other person that you're trying to, like, break up with. And
I think I used that analogy a long time ago.
Probably, yeah. I'm sure that I know I like the whole relationship thing is where I got that from you for sure, because you were definitely right on the money on that one.
Yeah, because it's like and people don't understand that. And that, oh no, I remember what it was from. It was from my rant about toxic fans.
Yeah.
Because the point I was getting to was that, you know, some people who don't understand how we feel about these things aren't getting it. You know, it's like we're fresh out of this relationship. You know, it's like we don't want things that remind us of that person, or we don't want things to change, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of a situation. And that's what's happening. And the people who don't care and they just want to be loyal to the franchise, well, they're dismissing your feelings on the matter as not important, or you're just a hater, or this or that or the other, just to bring us back around to what we first started talking about. You know, and it's just bullshit. It's like I would not invest myself into this so much if I didn't care.
Exactly. And that's what they don't get. That, like, we do come from these bitch fests, from the place of having this genuine love for these franchises. And, you know, we've poured our hearts into these things. They're our family members. We've grown up with them. They're, you know, that some of these movies I've spent more time with than people I'm related to. So of course we're gonna, you know, I have definitely spent more time and money on like Nightmare on Elm Street for sure.
Yes.
Fragminion, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. A super chat to fund the Mecha Random sexy late night movie horror host show. Well, I think I'm just gonna be a sidekick on that. Wasn't that the thing?
I think so, but I don't know. But it's not a bad idea to make you the sexy.
But I don't want to copy Elvira.
Sexy Elvira type.
Yeah,
type. You're a robot though, so you can like mix it with like
the sci-fi stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, like kind of like Metropolis / Bride of Frankenstein kind of thing, maybe.
Yeah. And that's something we have to like take some time and like work out the details of.
Her boobs are pure titanium.
They are probably.
They are quite sturdy.
Hail one and all, Gary McGregor says. Hail Gary McGregor.
Well, I made them that. So I gotta quit. People are gonna think I'm Doomcock. I'm not really that good at doing it anymore.
It sucks that the big businesses are failing, getting bought out and don't care about, by the way the show is supposed to go. I'm afraid for The Expanse. Well, The Expanse has the benefit of being
I think The Expanse is in the best place of a lot of these shows, yeah.
Yeah, because it has somebody who actually cares about the show backing it, and it's not, I don't think it's there to make a profit.
Well, not only that, they're allowing them to go completely full bore R-rated now because they're on Amazon, so they don't have to worry about any censorship. I'm sure that they've got a lot more, you know, like you said, what's his face, the head of Amazon, he wanted the show to begin with.
Yeah, Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, Jeff Bezos. Thank you.
Yeah,
see, I'm horrible with names.
Well, sometimes I remember. It just depends. It just depends on the thing. If it's fresh in my head, or if I have context for it. If it's just like a random, I'm going to quiz you out of the blue on this thing. Okay, what's the context?
Well, I'm not trying to though.
It's not like I know.
On purpose. I'm not trying to be a teacher who's like, in 1842, this person signed this. Blah blah blah. Who was it?
I don't
know. Random.
Let's see, 1842 was, let's see, pre-Civil War.
Mary Ashby says you can shoot bullets with your boobs.
I haven't figured out how to do that yet.
Do you got like nipple bullets, or?
I haven't figured out how to do that yet. I don't know where the button is.
I thought we found your button for your rear cannons, but not your front. Yeah.
I'm supposed to have rocket boots.
Yeah, that and rear cannons. Yeah, I thought. I want a Mecha Random 43.
The new improved version, I know.
Well, not necessarily. Yeah, just a clone or you know, what have you? Just because you're the tech mage, as Doomcock says. Actually, you did kind of help me. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have figured out the Google Hangout thing. So.
Well, thank you for.
You helped me through that.
I try. Well, and I'm not even using it correctly. I'm just using OBS.
You were my guinea pig too.
Yeah.
Nobody else wanted to pay attention to me and help me.
Well, I usually have time to just jump on.
Well, it was kind of for ladies' night, so I think you felt obligated.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's not so much an obligation. I'm happy to be on those. Right.
Well, no, I meant to help me since that was the whole main point.
That too. And I think a lot of with ladies' night, they wanted to be able to put a face to a voice.
Right.
They wanted to just match us up so they knew who to hate. It's me. They hate me.
Well, when you two go at it too, I'm sure it's for some people who don't talk to you normally or listen to the shows, it might be a little more difficult to hear the differentiation. Because we've had a lot of people, when we get quite a few people on roundtables, not know who everybody's voice is. We got to try and remember that. And I reminded Andre one time because he was like, during the editing process, he's like, cut out where we keep saying the next person's name, because that's how we try not to talk over each other all the time, and stuff like that, as best we can, is by passing the baton. And I'm like, no, I think we should leave them in there. That way people know who's talking. It's like, very good idea. So one of the few times more than once. Yeah. And it's right. And I think that, eventually if I shave, I might go on camera. So I don't know about Rob.
Yeah, we don't allow any scruffy looking nerf herders on the stream. That's why
I could blackmail Rob.
So he's not allowed to turn his camera on.
No, so he could. Well, make him get on camera.
I think Rob would probably
by threatening to show other pictures.
Oh no! Are those the pictures from the Beatles thing that we were talking about?
No, but I have one of him in a Star Trek uniform, just shaved bald, that he hates.
Oh no!
That was part of the original Trek log opening. And he's like, "Get that out of there! He's gonna kill me for telling this story." I'm like, "But dude, I just literally spent like an hour cropping out all the background to get." No, I don't want people to see it. Oh, fuck. Then why did you send it to me?
No, don't send anybody a picture of yourself that you don't want to like.
Because that was what I asked him for. To be honest, I was like, "Do you have a picture of yourself in any way in any Star Trek, garbs or anything, so I could use for the title card?" Oh yeah, I got one as me dressed as Picard one Halloween, and it's like, well, then why did you send it to me if you're not allowed to use it? But anyway.
See, I need to have that.
I had to understand because I'd probably do the same thing. I'm so self-conscious. So.
No, that's me. And like somebody wanted to make some art of my channel, and I'm like, yes, but I only have this angle so I don't look so fat, and I only have like this sort of picture, and I only have this or that, or because I'm a woman, so you get all these like, oh, you're fat comments, or
here you are.
No, and
you're not fat.
I know, and then
I'm fat.
And then I get like people saying, "Oh, with all the shit you say, or with all the hate you get, you shouldn't like take it out on other people. You shouldn't say anything about anybody's body." Like, well, yeah, that's life. Get a helmet. People aren't always gonna agree with you. Hello, Morks. Hello, welcome. The Predator, I'm glad The Expanse got saved. I need to watch that. I'm probably going to watch it once it's wrapped because I hate having something end that I'm getting into. Just in case, but yeah. Hello, Zach Z. Welcome. I'm seeing a lot of new names. If you guys are new and definitely want to check out my channel or my guest Tom from Midnight's Edge After Dark or Doomcock or Gary from Nerdrotic, like we have a great little group of people that we usually kind of all hang out with on stream, and we're associated loosely a little bit with Geeks and Gamers and World Class and all those sort of the High Council streams, because I know Doomcock's been on High Council a couple of times. I've actually had the honor of being on Geeks and Gamers with Jeremy one time, and I was nervous as crap to watch it. I was like super nervous. And then he brings on Ivan. So then he brings on Ivan Ortega, which is kind of awesome, but if anybody knows Ivan, he's this very sexy guy who does like the editing and who redid the Last Jedi thing. So I'm like, okay, now I'm super nervous because you got Ivan on.
Zach Z, long-time caller, first-time listener. He's gonna fit right in, or
yeah. Well, and this is kind of what we do now. We're kind of getting to the age of kind of when I was a kid, like our parents' age, used to listen to talk radio. They would listen to like Howard Stern or Rush Limbaugh. I listened to Howard Stern too, but like Rush Limbaugh was a thing. I would love
to do like call-ins, and we have talked about it. It was like, how would we actually be able to do it?
How would we be able to do it? Discord. I could have like the Discord server up, and
but can you can't mute other people though, can you? You can only.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can mute anybody. If I
not like on most of our normal streams, I wouldn't worry about it. But I'm sure once in a while you get those jerks who just want to ruin everybody's good time. So.
Well, and you can have like the private Discord server too, like the Patreon stuff.
Well, that's true. So.
Listen to Limbaugh every day at work. Is he still on? I didn't know he was still on. But yeah, we are. Oh, thank you, Edward Kenway, for being so.
Well, there's probably a couple ways you could do it, because you'd almost have to screen them just like on the radio, but there's no real way. I don't know how that ever works, because it's like, yeah, the person's really going to tell you they're going to go off on your host or your guest. You know?
Well, and I think you just have to have the type of host that can handle it and not.
Right. Well, and I was just thinking like, or scream like, you know, pink juicy pussy or something into the mouth.
Well, and it's like, yeah, what's your point?
Yeah, I'm like, oh, we're on YouTube. We'll get away with it. We say that shit all the time. That's dumb.
Yeah, that's exactly. It's not like the radio where, I mean, the only thing I can think of is like when you get on video game streams with the teenagers or like the 8-year-olds who get on Friday the 13th and just want to scream the N-word or something. Right.
Yeah, that's all we need is to like dress down some fucking 8-year-old and get in trouble for it or something.
Yeah. But
did you tell the 8-year-old child to go fuck his mother? I sure fucking did.
Yeah, I would too. No, well, that was the thing. Like somebody, did you hear the story on the Friday the 13th game where somebody got banned from the game for basically kind of just giving it right back to one of these little kid trolls. Only he was making like specific threats, and the person was kind of underage. So, but the thing is, this is an M-rated game, 18 and up. Right. You know, if the parent is going
why are you playing it?
Yeah, I mean, and if you're gonna let your kid on there unsupervised with a bunch of adults,
well, which is a bunch of horse crap too, because I've been, that's why I quit going on a lot of those, and I've seen my kid do it. All these people who are on there spouting off nasty shit are little 8-year-olds anyway. Yeah.
Because they can. We did the same thing when I was a kid. When there's nobody there, you shout off every little swear word you can think of.
We did that to a point, but we just did prank phone calls and shit.
God. I never did the prank phone calls. No, I did like you would go off like hiking or camping or whatever with friends or relatives or whatever, and just start swearing and cussing because you can. Because you're gonna get away with it, because you won't get away with it like any other circumstance. So I don't let kids get away with it, but.
Yeah, but you're lucky. You'll tell a little 8-year-old go fuck his mother. He'll actually do it and you get arrested.
Yeah, well, and if it's me, like I will. Well, for me, like I will screenshot some of the shit that these kids say. Like I've had
that was
kids...
meant to be a joke.
No,
I must be out of it today.
Oh no, it's fine, because like I've actually said some pretty nasty shit to kids. I get kids. My channel had a shit ton of kids on it. No, I stand by every word I said. I don't say it's like super sexual. I don't say sexual stuff, but I'll tell them off.
I was pushing it there. I was just being funny though, so trying to be.
Yeah, like I had one kid tell me
sleep for 3 days.
Yeah, I had one kid tell me he was gonna break my cat's neck. or something, and I'm like,
Yikes.
you fucking a piece of shit, you get the fuck off my channel right now. And I cussed him out, and my channel was for kids at the time, or it was getting a lot of kids at the time, and I was trying to, it wasn't for kids ever, but I was trying to play to the audience I had.
Get real nasty with them. All you gotta do is say, that's fine, come try it. You know, I shoot trespass.
Like, I dare you to try and do anything. You will regret it. Like some of these kids, like, oh man.
And then if anybody tries to threaten asshole my cat, I'll just be like, well, you got to get through the dog first, because asshole is her toy. And you think you're going to get to her cat. Well, good luck with that. She's a big German Shepherd puppy. She ain't going to let you take her kitty.
Bethesda's bitching about adult mods in Fallout 4. Are they really? Because every time I see mods, you always have like the slutty ones, and you have like, there's a lot of porn mods for Skyrim. Why would they bitch about Fallout? Bethesda makes the same, or Bethesda also makes Skyrim. I know they're bitching, and something. Well, is it just console? Because console stuff, they're kind of crazy. You need a PC if you're gonna mod stuff, but you can pretty much mod anything into those games as long as it's there. You pointed to your coffin-shaped guitar case, and I say, try it. I am prepared for you.
Oh, balls. I gotta send this to you. Nerdrotic just sent me something else about Saniqua.
Oh god, what did she do now? I know they made an action figure with her fucking face on it.
Yeah, that was one thing I was getting to earlier that you I was trying to give you a good transition. But
yeah, I go all over the place on these. So, the McFarlane toys, I think,
okay, I was going to read it, sorry.
Go ahead and read it.
Go ahead. No, do that first. We'll get into this after.
Oh, well, I was watching a little bit of Jeff's stream from this morning. I can never watch it at 7 in the morning from World Class Bullshitters. And he had, I think they were the McFarlane, I think there was a Captain Kirk and a Picard, and I think a Spock. And if you turn the back around, they have Mikey fucking Spock on there, like Saniqua Martin fucking Green. They have Mikey Spock's face. Like they're making an action figure of her. Like anybody wants a fucking plank of wood action figure. Like seriously.
Yeah, but here we are, how long into this shit, and they're finally getting that out?
Oh, like a season and a half. 2 seasons.
Yeah, so any of those people who called us liars.
Yeah.
Okay, Saniqua Martin Green getting her own action figure, huh? Nobody else cool like Saru or Tilly with their blessed boobs.
Yeah, big boobed Tilly. That's the blow up doll version. That's the
one I want. No, I mean,
me too. Me too.
I'll fight you for it. You want to wrestle for it?
Well, if anybody saw my stream yesterday on Twitch, it was basically me going, "Ooh, baby, you want me to massage you, don't you?"
Slap the boobies.
Yeah, slap the titty.
Well, that's what I said.
I cackled like a crazy person.
According to 90s Lancaster, we are getting a Saru as well. So.
But why? Why do we need Saniqua Martin Green? I've seen like Saru figures before. Like they have like a bust.
I'm just gonna send you this. Since it's your show.
Saru.
I'm tweeting you this other story that Nerdrotic sent me just because it's your show. I'm gonna let you do it. I don't feel like reading.
Make me yell about Saniqua Martin Green. Oh god, what did she do now?
That's right.
What did she do
this is gonna be one you're gonna have some fun with. Oh, Maddie. Okay, I was gonna say, what the hell did you send me here? Oh yeah, Maddie.
Yeah, that's the girl who's in My Mom's a Werewolf.
I told you. I know I seen it.
I know. Well, you probably know more than me on some of the night or Friday the 13th.
Well, not just that. It's like, okay, you want to know why I know so many older movies? Is because before I had a shit ton of movies and access to them, like a lot of people, I used to read a lot of the Roger Ebert and Leonard Maltin review books. Mm-hmm. I'd go through and mark the movies I'd seen, and I'd mark the ones I want to see and stuff like that. Well, one year, I think it was 94 or 5, I actually went from cover to cover in Leonard Maltin's video guide. Mm-hmm. So we're talking like thousands of pages of movies.
Yeah.
Every single one of them. And not only did I go through them, I read the synopsis. So I know shit about movies I'll never see. Yeah. And that's how people always like, how do you know that? Have you seen it? No. I just know it because I read it from cover. I've forgotten so much about it since then. But
yeah.
And I sent you that green thing. I was kind of killing time until you got it there.
Yeah, I got it pulled up here. So this is from trekmovie.com. Ugh, another crap one. I mean, I guess they're not that bad. They're not as bad as comicbook.com. So, Saniqua Martin Green says Captain Pike helps heal Star Trek Discovery's crew's Lorca PTSD. Ugh. They have to have these huge headlines. So Captain Pike helps heal Star Trek Discovery crew's Lorca PTSD. Words. Try reading that out loud next time you write these articles, guys. Try reading it out loud.
You sure it's not supposed to be PDSTD?
Yeah, PTSD. That's what we're going. That's what we have. We have PTSD. This is why we have our support group.
Neurotic said it at the same time because the chat's behind us.
Great minds. This is why Gary's part of us. This is why.
Thank you, Mary Ashmead. I know I'm old, but you're a wonderful liar. Thank you so much.
Okay, the article says, we're getting more little details about the second season of Star Trek Discovery, which is over halfway through production and set to premiere in early 2019. So Nico Martin Green reveals more about the tone of the new season and what effect Anson Mount's Pike has on the crew. So she knows Pike's in the fucking show. She didn't seem to know it last time she gave an interview. Fucking
Maybe
bitch.
She watched your video.
Yeah, right. Fucking
She's
bitch.
like,
Watch my goddamn videos.
Shit.
Plus, we have some more details on what's happening.
I should have had the video on for that one because I was like hitting my head like Ray Man.
I know. So we have more details on set about what's happening today on set. Pike sets the tone for the lighter second season. Well, are they actually going to turn on the fucking lights this time? In an interview with the official Star Trek
we
site,
said it, didn't we? Lighter second season. We called it. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I had to rub that in.
I know. Well, we know what's going on. Let's see. In an interview with the official Star Trek site, Discovery star Nico Martin Green talked about how the introduction of Anson Mount's Captain Pike affects the crew of the USS Discovery in Season 2. A crew is almost defined by the essence of a captain. Oh my god, did you watch my fucking video, you cunt? Oh god, I hate her. We went through the ringer with Lorca, so there's a little bit of PTSD there. No, there's not. You guys, there's nobody on your fucking ship except you. No one went through shit. They should have known he was not. Oh, I editorialized, I'm sorry. There's a little bit of distrust there because of what we've gone through, and because we had someone who manipulated us and sought to kill us for his own gain. And so Pike, being the deeply rooted good guy he is going to have an effect on us. He's soothing in that way. He's comforting in that way. And hopefully you'll see us sort of galvanize because of that. Like, galvanize? Are you fucking tires? What?
There are 4 lights.
Do you need your... Are we watching a TV show or getting our fucking oil change? Galvanized? What? Why is she using that?
Where does she come up with these fucking words?
Is she high? She's... Oh my god.
You're the one who brought that to my attention, and I love that.
Oh.
Is how her little vocabulary. It's...
What vocabulary?
Where she uses these strange words all the time. Juicy and...
Juicy. I want to sink my teeth into it. And
galvanized. She said another one on the last one that really got you going, too, and I can't remember what it was now.
I can't remember either, but... Yeah, she's... there's something wrong with that woman, I think. Oh, Lord. But yeah, in recent panels and interviews, the creatives and the cast for Discovery have talked about how the second season... Did I already read that? I think I already... Or that they're just rehashing the same thing.
Who gives a shit?
Let's see... Oh, they actually did edit something of what she said. Because she said, "Here's a little more joy because we aren't at war. We're able to smile a little bit more. There's a sense of levity that's there simply because we're not fighting for our lives." But yeah, they actually edited it, so I'm going to copy and paste this in the chat because they had to add the T instead of saying here. They wanted to add there.
Oh no, I gotta call attention to that bullshit. Almost nearly every episode of every other Star Trek show, they're always fighting for their lives, but they still found time for the levity and to get to know the characters. And
yeah, we still had time to figure out that Deanna likes chocolate and that they play poker sometimes and that Data paints and has a cat, you know.
That Worf is not a merry man.
So all this is yeah, oh yeah, for sure, there's a certain heaviness that is present with me as Burnham just because of everything that is driving me and because there are deep-seated problems there. So those are still at play for sure, but yes, you'll see the smile and you'll see the chuckles that we allow ourselves to have, including Burnham, because we're not fighting.
Oh, good Lord, they're actually starting to figure out how to make a Star Trek show? Are you can't tell me they didn't hear us. If not at least us, that at least they're part of the griping.
Oh, Lord. Galvanized is a perfectly cromulent word. She used it wrong here. Thank you, Sarah. A word salad article.
I gotta say this before I let you continue. Sorry, again, random.
No,
but
go ahead.
I've seen a lot of Star Trek Discovery ads ramping up again. I'm sure because season 2 will be starting this fall or winter, whatever it is. And now it's gotten to the point where the troll, or I wouldn't call them trolls, the CBS bots or whatever you want to call them, aren't even on there anymore.
No.
It's like all just the negative shit. It's like they're not even bothering.
Well, Seraph is always on the Star Trek subreddit, and he's told me that they don't even bother going on the subreddit anymore to say how wonderful it is, because they've all moved on. They don't care anymore. The only people that are still there are us saying, yeah, but we still want Star Trek to work, and we don't want this shit. And all these new people have already moved on to their next fling. She's using it become stable when it means to excite someone into taking action. The Shiltrons have given up on it, I know. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get what's going on in Sonequa's brain. I don't know if she has one. But that was pretty much the end of the article. It's just rehashing the same plot or points over and over again. I guess it's advertising that Frakes is going to be directing some, which we already knew, because they can't keep everything a fucking secret on Discovery. I mean, why would they? We already know that the Doctor's coming back that they killed off. So what? Spoiler, they already leaked it.
Well, that place is worse than Warner Brothers.
Yeah. It's like, well, I mean, it's not like their audience is going to remember anyway. Because people are like, oh my god, what do you mean they set this up? What do you mean they said Mirror Universe?
Well, not with the leaks, but yeah, same, that too. Good comparison there too. Yeah.
Well, the audience is such a, it's like the Cheech and Chong, Eric my eye, my head is like a sieve, like they don't remember. They hear this stuff, they talk about it, they have their little buzz and they tweet about it like, oh my god, it's so exciting, and then they totally forget it. Because you said that I remember you guys said that they leaked the Mirror Universe. Trekyard said they leaked the Mirror Universe way back when, and they're like, what do you mean they leaked the Mirror Universe? Did you not watch anything about Discovery? Are you just kind of tuning into a Discovery review that I'm doing just to bitch about?
Oh yeah, that was in that big group of leaks that we put out, and the only one that was not right was, and it's not totally true, it is still kind of true, was the timeline altering event that was supposed to happen with Sarek. Supposedly, though, they changed that because of our leaks. I can't verify that, but that's fine. But now look at what's going to happen in season 2.
Yeah.
A time-altering event with not Sarek, but
Spock. That's Spock.
Spock the cuck.
Yeah, Spock the cuck, not Spock. Kmart Zachary Quinto. Who is
Mock Spock.
Who is
I can't remember who
Leonard
came up with that, but it's one of our listeners came up with Mock Spock. I like that one too.
Mock Spock is good. Oh Lord. I think a lot of people think that to galvanize things make stronger in a fragmentation. Smock. Spork. Spong. I like Spong. They use Spong in Med Behaving Badly. Captain Pike brings the dressing to coat the zesty crunch that is his crew. Only when all these ingredients, fresh and juicy, are all together with Discovery that bring a taste to your mouth, Mork says. Oh, so you guys could write better articles than this idiot. And it's not even the writer. Like, they had to correct shit that she said, and at least they did that in this one. Like, at least I'll give them that. When she said here instead of there. It's like, the girl's not that bright. She kind of reminds me of a Beyonce, only without looks or personality. She's not that bright. Now I'm gonna have Beyonce fans that go after me, but Beyonce is dumb as a bag of hammers, too. Did I just alienate everybody? Everybody went quiet.
No, I was typing. I was flirting with Gary. I said, someone give Gary in his beard a Snickers quick. Because he hasn't got supper today.
Yeah, you flirt with Gary. Doomcock flirts with Gary.
Oh, there's a joke to that. I don't know if Gary, because you and I had joked about how I flirt with Gary.
Yeah.
I said, it's not his. Oh, did we talk a little bit about it early on the show, didn't we? About his beard, so. Yeah.
Yeah. And then
I just have an obsession with his beard.
On his back of rock. That's okay.
He's awesome. Don't get me wrong. He's fucking awesome.
That's okay. I'm obsessed with Tilly's boobs. And kind of her
hair. It's like Doomcock and him and I are all like, these lost brothers in a weird way in some ways. It's like fucked up. Yeah,
I'm one of the bratty kid sister or something that comes along.
I guess. But then you take care of all of us like the mother figure too, it seems like.
Yeah, I'm the mother, kid, sister, robot, housekeeper, 60s secretary. That's like patted on the ass or something.
You're like everything on a porn channel on Pornhub. There you go.
Yeah, except without the porn. I'm the censored version. We're all obsessed with Tilly's boobs, I know.
Nerderotic says, I look like Roseanne, all I need is Ambien.
What about Tilly's butt? 90 Lancaster says. Yeah, what about Tilly's butt? Do we ever see it? I don't think we see it that much.
Not much, but she's got a halfway decent one.
Well, she's curvy, so.
I'm a booty guy, I noticed.
Random
core. I mean, boobs are great.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess it just depends on the woman, too. Like, some women have nicer legs than anything else because they have, like, you know, because they're thin and slim or whatever, and some curvier women have nicer asses, or...
Madam Action says she's got a big butt. It's not great, but it's not bad. It you know, like I said, I'm a booty guy, but I would admit that her blessed boobs are probably her best feature on that scale. But now here we are sexualizing Tilly. We're going to get in trouble. She's a very beautiful, strong, independent woman.
With nice tits.
And red
that's
hair.
all she has to offer. No.
And I'm not going to say the other stuff. Let Random say it.
She's not smart, though, because I saw her.
You sure she's not smart? Well, her in personal life, no, but she's smart on the show.
Yeah. I
think she got to do one thing one time, remember, that Mikey Spock didn't get to because she was busy saving everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, exactly.
She figured out you had to reset the internet to get the...
I thought Tilly was on the spectrum, and that's what we thought too, and that was just a rumor. So,
she acts like it, yeah.
Yeah, she acts like it. I think that she was supposed to kind of be the relatable millennial, because they're all kind of on the spectrum, aren't they? And they all kind of have something. They all need like the safe space. They all have something.
Jim J tits, that's right. That reminds me of the old George Carlin bit, because that sounds like a brand. Jim J tits at your local store now. We got cheese tits as well.
Yeah.
That's not a bad word. It is a snack. It sounds like a snack.
Don't talk about Tilly, or she'll close her Twitter account. Well, we're not like going after her on her Twitter.
We would never go after Tilly.
We're shouting to the wind, you know. That's the big difference too.
Like, we did get into it with Anthony Rapp though the other day.
Yeah, he's a little pissy though, but I think he's a good guy. I think he actually cares.
He's a prima donna. I'm sorry. I have no issues with him. That's the sad fucking part. Mm-hmm. Him and
I wish you could interview him. I really wish you could, because I think if you kind of sat down and interviewed him, I think he would be pretty rational. But I don't think he would do it because we say too much shit about Discovery. But
that's the sad part, is we've brought up that him and a few other people on there are really great actors. They're just given shit to work with. Yeah. You know, you can't build a statue out of shit.
I know. Yeah, Sarah says she's the character we're supposed to hate, but ended up being the most relatable in the series. Yes. Plant Tobor says, the stream is somehow helping with productivity. Please continue for approximately 2 more months.
I think they figured that out with Tilly, too. Mm-hmm. I do honestly think, I'm not trying to be egotistical and say, oh, they were listening to Midnight's Edge After Dark and all that kind of crap, but there's other people out there who were saying the same things. I mean, they could be. I'm not going to say they weren't, but... You know, I'm not going to sit there and have a big head on my shoulders and say that, but I will say that they were listening to people who probably were saying similar shit. And you noticed a change a little bit in Tilly's character, where she went from completely annoying side character to the only character besides Saru who actually had a character.
Yeah, or even Kayla on the bridge. They actually gave, like, that last episode, or that one episode, they actually gave Saru the opportunity to be a captain, and they gave the crew some lines and some character and some development, because Mikey Spock was off on the other ship. So, like, yeah, we have an A story and a B story, like most television. What's happening on the B story? You kind of can't have Mikey Spock for every single... You know, she can't be the A and the B story, and that's kind of one of the things that they fail with. That's
what they did, unfortunately. Yes, you're right, and because that's what it was, and we bring it up all the time, but it's true. It's like if Mikey Spock isn't the one who saves the day, you know, it's somebody says, "Oh, nobody else could do it but you, Mikey Spock," or "We need Mikey Spock," or, you know, it's like yeah, we get it.
Mm-hmm. And it's kind of frustrating too that, like, they don't get, I think maybe they're getting it a little bit, but they don't get that, like, sometimes we don't want to just keep going with this one character. We need the break. We need the levity. We don't need every episode to be dark and dramatic and horrible.
Well, yeah, because, like, even Rob, I think, and I both loved it when Saru finally got to be captain. And they had interesting things there that they're not going to take on now because Pike's coming in and taking over.
Yeah. And now
how interesting would that have... Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I say, how interesting, though, would that have been to have Saru as more of a focal character as the captain, and the first time we've ever seen a captain who's a yellow-bellied coward, basically, for lack of a better way to put it, because that's his species.
Yeah. And then they like kind of go off
and
on
how he
too,
deals with these situations. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and I think that could really showcase the diversity aspect of Star Trek. If you have a captain who is like that and he's celebrated for it and not talked down to like a racial stereotype of, oh yeah, he's Kelpie and he just worries. They're like that. Their whole species does, because there have some like flat out racist moments there.
Oh yeah,
against Saru.
You made a good point. Yeah, I'd love to see that, to where it's like, okay, yeah, he's not like a Kirk, he's not like a Picard. He'll think things through, and yeah, sometimes we may not always agree with some. You could do some really controversial things with his character, because of his species and how he would react to certain situations.
Yeah,
we might see a situation where there's a bunch of people who die because he's not gonna sacrifice the crew or something like that, or what have you, and then everybody could be like, well, that was a selfish thing, but it's like, no, but I saved my crew and it's not our job to interfere or something, and it'd be a very controversial, not always be wrong either, and it may be a more you could take a liberal approach to it in a way of more of the passive kind of captain, and that's kind of way he is, to where he's not going to try and get involved in anything he doesn't have to.
And that's why you put him on a science ship too. You have like a science ship of people who are scientists and explorers and more pacifists, and you let the big guns like Picard or Cisco handle the war stuff. You have these secondary captains, and you can celebrate the diversity of the species by allowing them to go off and showcase their strength, and I think that's where Star Trek Discovery really fails so miserably, is like nobody can celebrate their strengths. It's all Michael Burnham. They pointed out in chat, Michael Burnham's Goku. We don't need Goku in Star Trek. We don't need somebody who's good at everything and perfect. Also, hello Captain April, welcome. And Burnfried Axe Wielder says, we need to get Doomcock to 10,000 subs. We need to get Doomcock more subs. The algorithm is screwing him over by not recommending videos.
It is. I think it is.
And I think he needs to just upload like 3 things a week, even short things. His reactor things are a great idea. And I think if he did like little short rant things every, whenever he can, just fly off the handle.
Sorry.
Just kind of like what I do, just to have content for you guys. Some of my rant things bring in a lot of people, like my Captain America rant reaction thing, or the Superman thing. You will get recommended if you kind of stay topical and current.
Well, there's
and not
that.
Wait a few days to really craft. Like there's his big important pieces, like the one he did today. I wish he would have done a reaction to the Superman thing 2 days ago, though, because that would have like really. But I know he only has so much time, and I know he's such a he's very. He pours so much of his soul and passion, and he crafts his words really well, and he takes time to do that. But I think it might help the channel if he did a couple of like little just quickie reaction things a week too.
It could, but what really helps is you guys out there.
Yeah, and you guys.
That goes for all the channels, because that's the thing with YouTube, is they're not going to help the little guys out anymore. So what helps is when you guys share and retweet and all that kind of stuff. It means the world.
And that's why I tried to start the hashtag I stand with Doomcock. I should have worn the tank top today. I have the Doomcock Cannon Wars shirt with the I stand with Doomcock on the back. Yeah, Harvey can do the quick reactions. Absolutely. Showcase more Harvey. That would be amazing. I would love to see that. Doomcock also proofreads. He does. Doomcock is one of those. Yeah, he proofreads. He's very well thought in his craft. He's an artist. He doesn't. He's
a lot like Andre in that way, yeah.
Yeah, and he's not like me, where I just kind of fly off the handle on a quick reaction and then get 10,000 views.
There you go.
But yeah, and that's kind of one of the things that like, that's kind of one of those things that like. I wish that the YouTube algorithm would kind of celebrate and reward the more well-crafted stuff, but sadly we have a lot of channels that pop up with a lot of topical going over, bitching about articles. That's kind of why I do it, because I do want to stay topical, and I can't live stream for 4 hours every day, even though I'd love to, but it's not going to like help my channel grow, so I have to throw in like the little quickie reaction things in there.
And we don't like to overlap too much, because we know a lot of you guys watch all of us, so we appreciate that. So we don't want to keep rehashing the same shit over and over either. So
Exactly. even though I do, and I always try and put my own spin on it, because for me, it's like the media is the problem, the psychology behind it is the problem. Why we react the way we do is kind of the problem for me. I do like to kind of hit the more psychological aspect and reasons behind stuff. Like when I picked apart Starfire's costume or whatever her name is, I don't have any knowledge of the show, but I know what people are going to think and why it's important not to put these images out there just to generate buzz. Just to, you're giving us shitty costumes for people that look like hooker stuff, but you don't think that doing this will make us think like she's a hooker. It's going to leave a bad taste in our mouth. It's going to bleed into our subconscious, and we're going to react negatively to a lot of these things. So.
Well, it doesn't help that every single piece of material they keep putting out, she's in the same costume. So the excuses that they gave us in the first place, I don't think are going to fly. Mm-hmm. Are they trying to say it was because she was at some costume party or something like that?
Yeah, and they're not, though, because I keep seeing all these new images.
Yeah.
Also, Lori Roberts, thank you so much, $5 super chat. Harvey was great. Hell, you all are. Keep fighting the good fight, you evil white people. And thank you. I appreciate that. And yeah, Harvey was great on the video. If you didn't have time to check out Doomcock's video, absolutely do after our stream wraps up here. And it was pretty powerful stuff. It's a lot of people were kind of complaining, or I saw like one person complain that he was just bitching, and that's not the point. That's not, like I was saying earlier, you kind of have to slap somebody in the face to kind of wake them up. If somebody's hysterical in their little crazy safe space bubble, sometimes you gotta shake them up a little bit to get their attention. Sometimes you gotta blast the air horn at them, and I think that the Doomcock is really good at that, because he'll hit you with the verbal, the insults and the well-crafted crazy, and then he kind of brings you back down to where, okay, now I've got your attention. Now I'm going to give you this message. And he's really, really good at that, and all his videos definitely have that formula, so, which is why I'm such a huge fangirl. Doomcock video is an instant classic. Every one, they're so well-crafted. And I think it might help his channel to kind of do a lot more little topical quickie things, but I know he doesn't have the time to do that. So if we can kind of get him a lot of subs, like if everybody that I know, like go to my channel. Let me just give you Doomcock's video here in the chat. If you've never heard of Doomcock, if you're like just joining us brand new today, he is kind of the ringleader for a lot of our channels that are popping up in our culture wars here. So definitely hit subscribe over on his channel, on his video, and he does some amazing stuff. He puts a lot of passion. He puts his heart into it. He puts his soul into it. I'm a fangirl of all you guys. Oh, thank you. I need more fangirls. I'll take the fangirls. Doomcock gets all the groupies, damn it.
Yeah, he does.
Like, where's mine?
We're over there with After Dark, and we don't even have any girls other than you.
Yeah, and I don't count because I'm a robot.
Well, yeah, there's that. Did you get your gender fluid changed yet?
Not yet. I need to. Probably do that when I get dinner tonight, too.
Captain April, he was in here earlier, right?
Yeah, Captain April. And
well, I'm just trying to make sure I say hi to everybody. So, the Life Dyslexic, I don't think I said hi to you yet. Liam Hodgetts, hello. So I'm just trying to say hi. I'm being your little... being your little wrench with the wrench.
Yeah, I have my wrench wenches, too.
Well, I see there's a few out there, so I don't really have to. I was trying to be...
You hear that I'm fully functional. Am I fully functional?
I could be.
Yeah. Well, and I don't like when for the other people on the tribunal in our little community, I don't expect you guys to have to mod. You're mostly there so people can click your name, and you can do like I do.
I know, but you're so interactive with our... That's part of the reason, why we're like, why don't we just have her on? She's always in the chat.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. I've been such a huge fangirl of Rob and Tom for forever, because the Midnight's Edge After Dark stuff, huge fan since Ghostbusters. So
that's what I'm saying. You did your own thing, and you worked with Doomcock and the guys over at what do you call it, the High Council or whatever, and stuff like that. So it's like, oh, we knew you could do this stuff. So.
Well, I think I was on yours before I got invited over on the Geeks and Gamers stream too.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't remember.
All I know is they know me. They recognize me because Jeff is. I've heard Jeff say, "Oh yeah, we need to have Random on." Like, dude, you guys know me. You know who I am.
Well, we all help each other in that way, and
we're all kind of different branches of the same military fighting the culture wars. Anyway, I kind of see the High Council as the army, and I kind of see us as like the Air Force. The High Council over there.
I want to be the Navy because there's lots of seamen. Sorry. See, I can be weird over here because I'm not worried about it.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
But my chat's X-rated anyway most of the time.
There you go. So that's the best part is I can be a little bit more risque. That's a nice word to say, risque.
Oh, I'm filthy over on Twitch. Like when I played Senran Kagura yesterday, I was like full-on sexual assaulting this girl.
Oh jeez.
It was crazy. I don't know where the hell that came from. I was a booby slap. I was slapping the titties yesterday. It was crazy. Like, and she's like, Oni-chan, Oni-chan, please, no, don't touch me there. It's weird. Like, dude, I have to crack myself up on those. It's crazy. But yeah, I guess I used to actually do the voice acting on a lot of when I would do the Let's Plays and stuff, and then just something I went into kind of a funk and I stopped really caring and I stopped doing a lot of the voices on those. And
hi JGFIJGFIFY. Am I coming through all garbled, or is it just because I'm not talking clear enough? He thought I said Grinch wenches. I said wrench. Wrench
wenches. It might have, like, sometimes the internet, like...
Well, my mouth is dry and I don't have anything to drink, so I might be coming through a little...
Yeah, it's probably a good place to start wrapping for the day, too. I know we started a little late.
Supper time.
Yeah, I'm getting starving, and I have to go hunt for Migos, and I have to get groceries, and I have to... I heard
I might go see Predator.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not going to see Predator. It doesn't look very
I'm not looking forward to it. I've only heard one good review, and that was from Cinemassacre.
Okay, well, those guys know their shit. I haven't watched any reviews
to
yet.
A point. They were kind of... They mostly seem like casual fans of the series, except for one of the guy on the show. So it was kind of like... Then they all were fairly positive about it, but otherwise I've heard nothing but bad reviews. So
let's check the inaccurate Rotten Tomato score.
Predator, thank you, Rip Tom.
33%.
Why is that? Why are you so mad, D Predator?
Wow, 33% on Rotten Tomatoes. The Nun got a 27.
Why is D Predator mad at me? I want to know why now. I don't want to upset D Predator.
It was D Predator. Oh, Rip Tom. No, I don't think he's mad. I think he's saying rest in peace because you have to go see that movie. It's probably crap.
Oh, it looks like a mad face. Maybe it's meant to be a sad face.
Yeah, Predator, okay. Donate your movie or your money to a multi-million-dollar studio today. Well, here, keep this in mind. If you guys are more entertained by what we do on these live streams... I might pay
for a different movie.
Yeah, pay for a different movie when you go in. If you guys are more entertained by what you're seeing on these live streams than you are at a 2-hour movie, then I think that tells the studios everything they need to know. I mean, I was certainly super chat over, like, on Doomcock's stream or anybody, rather than going and seeing some of these garbage movies, because seriously, I'm not going to pay them $5 on a matinee or $7 on a matinee when I can just go and drop a $4 super chat on somebody's stream and be entertained and have somebody interact with me and you know, have a group therapy bitch session. So I do that all the time. Like, I kind of say, okay, I could see this movie, or I could just watch a live stream that I'm going to actually enjoy. So hopefully we're pretty entertaining to you guys, because I know I'm entertained when I'm watching, like, all of the channels, and I know Nerdrotic has their Friday night thing tonight. We'll probably do. So that's another one we have to shout out. Go and definitely see them.
Mary Ashmead says her son doesn't want to see. There you go. And your son's like what? Probably. I think you told me 16 when I talked to you at one time. So yeah, that's a sign right there. That's their demographic.
Yeah, they
if their demographic doesn't want to see it, that's bad.
Yeah. Okay. She says he's 16.
Yeah, 16. So yeah, that's not good.
Well, and what do 16-year-olds do though? They play video games. They watch YouTube.
Well, right, but that's what I'm saying. That's their exact demographic right there.
Yeah, and they don't
15,
understand.
16, 17-year-old boys. That is going to be supposed to be their bread and butter for this movie, guaranteed. That and guys our age.
Yeah, the nostalgia people who saw it. Like, I saw Predator 2 in the theater as a kid.
You are an ugly motherfucker. Get to the chopper.
Yeah, go play Dragon's Quest 6 and Screw Predator. Well, I should have Blasters in the mail today, so I'm going to be playing that on my off time. And I'm probably going to be playing, I'm going to be playing Red Dead when that comes out. Like, my life is going to go when I start playing Red Dead. I'm going to be starting just, like, trying, I'm just going to have to say, I'm sorry, everybody in the house.
What are you going to get that on, PS4? Or?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going to get it on PS4.
Is there going to be, like, an online thing?
I don't think there's an online mode.
Aw, bummer.
I don't think. I mean, but I think you can posse up. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah, cause if we can, I know I'm gonna get it, and I'm sure Rob will probably get it.
Well, I know Doomcock's gonna have it, but
there you go. Maybe we'll have to do some.
like
Something with that.
multiplayer, like a
Even on a Patreon or something, you never know.
do a Patreon posse sort of stream. Well, I'd have to pay for the online
We got an
thing.
excuse. We're working. God damn it!
Yeah, I know. Like, no, we're not gaming. We're just working. We're going on a posse raid.
We've only been playing for 24 hours. We're on a 48-hour thing. As soon as we, that's see, we're working overtime.
What happened? What happened? That was me when Red. Yeah, for research. We're doing it for
research. R&D. Yep. There you go. Well, that's kind of why I excused myself and I kind of like talked myself into doing the whole VR thing and getting Star Trek and stuff. It's for research. It's for research.
Well, and you can play Star Trek Online, or not Star Trek Online, Star Trek Bridge Crew without VR now.
Yeah, but
I was gonna get it last year.
But it's VR.
I get VR sick though. I can't do VR very well. Hopefully the trailer comes out before and stuff. Yeah, I get really woozy. Tax right off.
I suppose I'm gonna shut up because I know we've been on here for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
How many people even got in here?
You guys. We have 63 people watching. And that's why I kind of. Yeah, I'm sure.
It's up to you. I don't have nothing going on yet, so I gotta feed my puppy and stuff pretty soon.
Let's any questions? Do you guys want to
real quick?
Because we sort of take questions all through the whole thing, and we kind of cover junk, but
yeah.
Still the best for me, but 2 was good. 1 was still the best for which? Oh, Star Trek Bridge Commander. I never played Star Trek Bridge Commander. And yes, Senran Kagura was great research as well on how to sexually harass anime girls.
JGF.
Make them feel funny from their brother when their brother's touching them. God. Well, that was what she was like. Oni-chan, Oni-chan.
JGFIG. I'm not. JG. Fifi. Fifi. Which one or which do you guys like more, Predator or Predator 2? Well, of course, Predator. I think both are 5-star movies for different reasons and go back and forth. Lately, I favor Predator 2. I don't like Predator 2 as much, but I give it a lot of credit for being different than the original film in a time where generally sequels, which we just brought up earlier in the show, were the same thing again.
Exactly. Well, okay, so I saw Predator 1 like a while ago, but I was reading the other chat, so I didn't hear exactly the question there.
Oh, okay. You ever seen Predator 2 or no?
I saw Predator 2 in the theater, and I saw Predator 1 a while. I liked 1 better. Okay. I liked 1 better. It's fun.
Did you hear the news today that Arnie did? Well, we kind of figured this, but Arnie turned down the Predators to do Terminator 6.
Yeah, I mean,
he's turned down every one of them now.
Yeah, well, I think they're
not gonna do that shit.
Well, he was really only in the first one, though, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
You only do the first one unless it's Terminator.
Well, Lord Robert, subscribe. Thank you for bringing a subscriber.
And that's because I know why he won't do a sequel. Not just because of the money.
Yeah.
But because he's not the star.
No, he's not. Yeah, the Predator's the star.
That's all there is to it.
Ego. It's ego. Not only that, but yeah. Your total perv random, I think he got crossed a couple of wires. Or did he do it intentionally? He might have done it intentionally. Let's see. Dark Slayer says, you're a total perv random. I think he got crossed a couple of wires wrong. Did he or did he do it intentionally?
See, but I'm a little pain in the ass, so I might turn around and try and cross your wires anyway just to see what happens.
I know, it'd spark and explode. And
well, then, you just have to fix it quick.
We had a question. What's your favorite sword and sorcery movies? Well, I do have the glaive necklace, so if that kind of counts.
Does Highlander count?
Does Highlander count? Maybe. And I kind of go fall back into like, God, Deathstalker sort of crap movies though, because that's.
I gotta watch that again. I seen that was on Amazon Prime. I haven't seen that in forever. Well, I just got Beastmaster not too long ago here.
Yeah.
That's a good one too. I love like Fire and Ice, the animated movie.
What was the other one that I can't remember? Oh, God, I'll remember it. I can't remember it.
Dragon Slayer is a good one. Count that.
Fire and Ice, Planet Tobor says. Does Conan count?
Conan you never heard of Planet? You never heard of Fire and Ice, Planet Tobor? It's was it backseat that made that one? I think so.
Was that the animated one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's backseat. Like... It's kind of like a He-Man / I think it's based on a comic, if I'm not mistaken.
Would technically Time Bandits kind of be Sword and Sorcerer?
Oh, the feed cut. Sorry about that. It shouldn't be. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, sometimes at the 2 hour mark. We're almost at the 2 hour mark. We're at 1 minute.
Right. I don't. Well, it is that time of the day. People are jumping on the internet too. So.
Very nice is good. It's Bakshi and Frank Frazetta. Okay. It's
That's what I thought. Thank you. Yeah, that's a good one too. It's a little slow moving in some parts, but it's just the art is amazing. I love old animated movies, and I know we talked a little bit about Disney movies last night, but I'm a sucker for the older ones especially. But yeah, Dragonheart. I don't remember. Dragonheart was okay. It seemed kind of, to me personally, it seemed kind of generic.
Crystal. Oh, Dark Crystal's amazing.
Is that a sword and sorcery? I guess. Well, it is in that vein. It borrows the same kind of framework.
Yeah.
As most of them.
Check out the documentary they made on Frazetta. I think.
Oh, cool.
They probably have that on.
I gotta check out the Conan movies again, Gary, so I can do some more Schwarzenegger lines, because that's like the only good. Only got like two people I can do their voices. That's 3 maybe. Maybe 4.
What do you think about the new anime? Which new anime? Like specifically or in general?
Yeah, I was gonna say that could be anyone.
Like if you need an anime expert ever, I do know somebody who's like.
They're probably referring to something we brought up.
Oh yeah, probably.
Sorry, there's that delay in the chat, guys. That happened.
Yeah, it's not. I have mine like tweaked way less of a delay than a lot of the other chats too.
That's good.
Because I don't need. We don't need the whole playback thing, and I've dropped my frame rate down. But...
I will say that I do enjoy having the playback thing, because in case I miss the beginning, I can go back. But it depends.
Well, and then you can go back to the beginning then too. You just have to reload the stream.
And I think it processes faster on the other end as well.
I'm used to chat delays thanks to Twitch. And actually, if you guys do, I should absolutely totally forgot to give a shout out. Plant Tobor TV does Twitch live streams where he does game development. And he's making a sword and sorcery game. So I'm going to give you guys a link in the chat. It is Savage.
Yeah, Buck Rogers asked what I did.
I'm saying the name wrong.
Does Highlander count? That was my first choice, damn it.
I'll link you guys in chat. Go check out this game. It is coming out. Well, he'll know exactly when it's coming out. You can go wishlist it.
Chronos, if you're just showing up, sorry you missed like the whole show, seriously.
Coming soon. I know, if you're just showing up, we are wrapping up for the day. Because we did like 3 hours last night. But yeah, absolutely. Go check out. And go check out his Twitch page too, or his Twitch streams. Well, it's coming out in 2017.
Highlander counts, but never Highlander 2. Which version, though? Damn it! No, I'm one of those that the Renegade version doesn't fucking help anything.
Yeah, that's what we need to do. We need to start doing like Patreon movie watch parties, like cross Patreon stuff.
You know, and I love. Don't get me wrong. I love like extended versions and director's cuts, but I like to be able to have both versions. But I'll rarely do I'll sit there and say, "Oh yeah, the extended cut fixed the movie or made it so much better." Very, very, very rarely. It's usually movies that are already great, so it's not like it's making them that much greater. But
yeah, Kronos. Oh, by the way, hello everyone. Hello, Kronos. With the Swedish chef thing. Yeah, we are kind of just winding down. We're at about the 2 hour mark, so it's been a fun stream. I know last night we did the 3 hours, so
there can be only one.
I think we're gonna try and do these on a regular basis. If I kind of sneak in a Monday or Tuesday afternoon, I need to figure out a set day to do that. But like doing these kind of starting around what 4 on Fridays and then like 7 on Thursdays kind of seemed okay.
Well, I think you were trying to do a little earlier for the people overseas and stuff too, because I noticed a lot of people had to leave a little earlier because it was getting late.
Yeah, and we dropped everybody at like 10 o'clock last night is when everybody kind of dropped off. So, but I mean, we got a good turnout. 55 people. It was around 60. That's amazing. Like my good days when I was doing gaming would be 12 people showing up for Jackbox. So I know my random chat. Well, and that's kind of what we do over here anyway. We kind of don't really have so much of we're going to talk about this news story and this news story. And sometimes I just kind of go off on a million tangents entertaining you guys solo. I still want to do solo streams too. That's the thing. I still want to do.
Oh yeah, I'm not like going to be here all the time. I'm just helping her out to do something a little different. And because she always helped us out over there.
Yeah, and it gives some legitimacy to my channel too, and I'm gonna try and get Doomcock back on when he's.
And I think I said it last night. I'm a whore. I'll go on anybody's show if you ask me.
Oh yeah, me too. I've been on like 6 other channels, so.
I'm not gonna bug you to be on your show, but if you ask me, yeah.
Well, yeah, and the same thing is like if I know if I have a set schedule, I can say here, this is my schedule. You know.
I'm such a whore. Yes, I am, Darkslayer.
But yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out. If there's any last minute questions or anything, let me know while I'm doing my little outro. It has been
the only
fun.
thing that could get me to settle down would be Gary's beard. I'd curl up in Gary's beard forever and live there.
Yeah, you want to go ahead and
like a hobbit.
Go ahead and plug your channel again.
Oh, Midnight's Edge After Dark, or Midnight's Edge, of course, if you haven't already.
The totally legit ones that people like actually quote on Entertainment Weekly and stuff as like being legit.
I gotta see that. You said that, and I have yet to see that. That's one of the few I have to see that I have yet. But I guess guys over on World Class or something mentioned us yesterday too and gave us a nice shout out. So I haven't heard it yet, but I just want to say thanks for that if they did.
Yeah, they were mentioning you this morning too a little bit. They wanted to do. Like,
that's what I heard. Was it today?
Yeah.
Okay, it was one of the somebody, you and somebody else I think said something to me about it. So our time, it's like God, just to find the time between my other job and it's like.
Yeah, and I'm kind of like I am fortunate enough where I can kind of drop everything and hop on a stream usually if I have some warning, and then I kind of have to prioritize between the people who kind of have a set time and people who, you know, like correspond with me before. So if I don't show up to somebody's channel, it's usually because I don't know, you know, they kind of just stream at random too. So, but yeah.
Well, that's the game.
That's why I want to kind of try and do also is give you guys a set stream. So tomorrow afternoon.
Mary Ashmead. Ooh, you are hard time giggity. Yes, I am.
Tomorrow afternoon, I'm going to be doing the Babylon 5 watch party. We're moving it away from Sunday to not interfere with sports ball. So hopefully things will go a lot smoother because I do have them digitally now. So yeah, so at least for the first season so far. So hopefully it'll go a little more smooth. And it'll just be me watching Babylon 5 with you guys. Saturday night, Doomcock is streaming at 10:30 on his channel. Tonight, right. Gary is streaming the weekend or the Friday sort of hangout podcasty show on Nerdrotic, so go check them out. Sunday, 5:30 Central Time, Doomcock is doing another stream. So he's going to be busy this weekend. He's going to be super streaming like all night on probably Saturday. He'll have us up till 4 a.m. again. It'll be another epic stream. But yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out, and it has been super fun. Any last words before I kill the stream?
No, just thanks for having me as always, and thanks for everybody out there for watching us and putting up with us. And
yeah, and
make sure you subscribe to Mecha Random if you haven't already.
So subscribe here if you're brand new. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys on the next stream or video. Bye!